Very excited to face the other teams in the semi-finals. I think there's a really good lineup. I think it's going to be super exciting racing.
Rock and roll racing on the waters of Barcelona.
One of the strongest teams is probably Prada.
They are absolutely sending it.
We know that we can beat them.
Just ducking behind there, the Americans.
I think it's going to be really tight because there will be only 4 races and everybody will want to get the top 2.
They have pace to burn on this upwind leg.
I believe 110% on the team that I have. Confident they're the best, on some of the best in the world, and we just have to get the job done.
Whoever wins out of these 2 boats will make it through to the final 3.
These boats are on the edge, all the teams are pushing hard, and you've got to have your wits about you to sail these boats fast.
I see them through the jib, that's okay.
I think we're going to have to bring our A game, you know? Yeah, simple as that. We've got to go and win races.
Sail Team Barcelona rocket to the finish line and get the win.
So semi-finals, it should be much closer. Have to get the best Spanish version and let's go for it.
Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. They will be in the final series.
It's going to be whoever wins at the first boundary is going to have a really good edge against the others. So if you do that well, then you have a really good chance at getting to the top around the course.
Australian team getting more and more confident. You can feel it, you can hear it coming off the boat.
Okay, if we can hit these guys out of here, it'll probably be a gain.
Yeah, we're super excited to get through to the next round. We had a bit of a roller coaster journey to get here.
Big moment for the Australians.
Biggest stage we've ever been on, so it's very exciting. It's a bit nerve-wracking.
We know that we got to turn up the risk and turn up the energy.
Buenas tardes. This is Barcelona, where the UniCredit Youth America's Cup has got down to the business end of the competition, and the battle for glory really heats up. 7 days ago, 12 teams began their pursuit of the Youth America's Cup crown. After 16 spectacular and hard-fought races, the fleet has been halved. The standout performances came from Luna Rossa in Group A and Sweden in Group B, effectively leaving the fleet in their wake. Today, it's a high-pressure, high-stakes day, because by the end of it, 6 will become 2. Those 2 teams will then fight for this, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup trophy. The last team to win the title was Great Britain. Can they shine the brightest and make it? It's a question all teams will be asking themselves. To get to this point, teams were split into 2 groups, America's Cup teams and an invited group. Each had to sail 8 races and be in the top 3 points-wise to be sailing today. Now that we're here, 6 crews will race 4 fleet races with the scoreboard back at 0. Today, the top 2 will advance to the title showdown on Thursday, a 1-race winner-takes-all affair as part of the opening day in the Louis Vuitton Cup final series. Confirmation, it's a quick turnaround for the 6 teams in the semi-finals after only finishing qualifying yesterday. It's a big mental reset because there's now only 1 day and 4 races to make your presence felt. There'll be winners and losers, but the racing will have you captivated. And it is a brand new day, and the fleet comes together in these 4 races. Do the Cup teams of Italy and Great Britain, the USA, have the advantage because they're embedded with their senior crews? Or will they look at those 3 invited teams of Spain, Sweden and Australia with less time in their boats and realise this final series is going to be tight? Well, all 6 teams' performances have stepped up to another level with each race sailed, so you can be assured with each outing, eyes will be on the prize and no mistakes can be afforded, because as we have witnessed through this regatta, 1 mistake and your window of opportunity could be shut and you might just be going home after today. So how much risk is each team prepared to take? Well, speaking of teams, let's meet them.
With the Luna Rossa trademark calm composure and impressive execution, this Italian team looks every inch the full package. They should be a force in this young lineup. Drivers Gradoni and Ogolini are in sync, and sitting behind them faultlessly making the magic happen is trimmers Colanino and Volconi.
Representing the New York Yacht Club is the youth team of American Magic. With a diverse mix of talent, driving the boat is Kyle Navin with Harry Melgers, and keeping the flow state on aero trim is Finn Rowe and Severin Graham.
Having fought hard to make the cut, the British Athena Pathway team will line up today battle-hardened and with a newfound confidence. Driving, it's Nick Robbins and James Grummett, and keeping it smooth and fast, trimmers Hughes and Beck.
Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, have sailed well and are in the final 6 here in Barcelona. Steering the AC40 is Ludwig Lindqvist and Oscar Engstrom, and on sail trim is Rasmus Elnebeck and Hugo Christensen.
Representing Spain, Sail Team Barcelona have really impressed. Short of hours in the boat, they have got better and better with each outing. This tight unit of friends is full of fast boat talent and lifelong trust. Driving it's Wisner and Konitzer, making them look good. It's trimmers Frames and Torrado.
The boys from Down Under have sailed well and have made the final series here in Barcelona. On the wheels for Andu Team Australia is Cole Tapper and Jack Ferguson, who are joined on trim by Tom Needham and Max Paul.
So 6 talented teams all fully ready to show us what they've got on the biggest stage. The stakes are high. By the end of the day, 4 teams will be on their way home. We do have a short delay here. Race start is now at 14:30, but stay with us, sailing fans. Settle in for an action-packed couple of hours because Barcelona is delivering. It's a glamour southwesterly between 10 and 15 knots. We are go. And to help us watching make all the right decisions, we'll be relying on the brilliant Windsight IQ, showing us the variations in the breeze. Remember, green is more and blue is less. We then push that data through our AC40 performance model to take a very informed look at the favoured track. And right now, the computer is suggesting we start at the right-hand side of the start and bounce off that left-hand boundary.
So the blow-up kangaroo is back supporting Andu Team Australia. I love Cole Tapper on the left here saying, turn up the risk, turn up the energy. Well, risk is something they're going to have to take, all these teams, aren't they? Because you've got 4 chances to be in the top 2.
Yeah, not a lot of room to wriggle around there and get the results done. So every team going to be pushing hard today and every point an absolute keeper. So going to be great racing.
American Magic, a lot of people are saying, you know, we've talked about Sweden being a leader, we've talked about Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli being a leader, but American Magic, there's a bit of a mood around the place that maybe American Magic might just, you know, grab that second spot today. We'll find out, of course.
It's a great atmosphere down there and a lot of nerves and tension. It is a massive day.
How big a reset is it, Glenn? I mean, because the racing stuff, we got delayed a couple of days, and suddenly you've gone from got to make it, and now you're back into it.
Yeah, look, it basically almost the event starts today in many ways for these teams. So all the points reset back to 0, and effectively you're going out like you're going out into a whole new series. So it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, you've made it through, and you know you start from 0. So every race absolutely going to be a hard-fought battle.
I suppose that's what you grasp onto straight away. Okay, don't look in the mirror, straight ahead, and here we go again. It's going to be interesting. The reason we had a little bit of a delay wasn't actually because of the weather. We had a bit of a technical going on with, I think it was our good friends at Andu Team Australia. The old kangaroo, hey, the old blow-up kangaroo. Gotta love it. Oh, someone feels good about Artemis Technologies backing the Swedish team. There's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. If you want a team that's been red hot, that's the team. But hang on, Sail Team Barcelona. They won the first race and then they won the last race in the Greta in Group B. What a story.
Yeah, and they do most of it with a massive smile on their face. They are a group of friends. They've grown up racing together. They are really tight. And I think for the invited teams, they'll go out today with a massive confidence.
Quick check on the water with Peter Lester on Chase Area. What's the weather like, mate?
Oh, I think we're in for a glamour. It's the breeze is already in, and it wasn't forecast to come until later. But right now, you're looking at about 8, maybe 9 or 10 knots, and so we're on time for a 2:30 start.
Interesting looking at Max Serena there on the chase boat. So it's the whole senior team, they're into it. Okay, we've got a delay till 2:30 start. Let's go back to yesterday, the final race in Group A. It was race number 8, and it was a goodie. The good thing when it comes down to these, let's just say the final 2 legs, will be able to keep you in touch with who is going where. Just a reminder, when you see the flags at the bottom of your screens, you can see them right now. But when you see those flags with a green or a red above them, the green is good. That means they are going towards the 5. That's what stacks out right now. Okay, there we go. France, Italy, and the USA. They are already good to go in the final series tomorrow. Great Britain, New Zealand, and Switzerland? No. So here we go. It's one race.
That's where the standings are at the moment, but this race will make the difference, and we could see some changes there to the cut line. So all the boats there getting themselves prepared. With the start, only 35 seconds to go. Kiwis a little bit slow there, having to actually tack. Get their boat back to the course there, so they're going to have to execute well here. Potentially a port start here for Emirates Team New Zealand, which will be starting on the opposite tack to the fleet with only 16 seconds to go. French potentially late. British, the Americans. Luna Rossa Prada almost infringing. Oh, that was close. And almost infringing there too, the Italians.
Race start, race 8, Group A, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. One last shot to make the final series.
I think good is like...
This is the Italy. This is the pro umpires. Italy, penalty, get behind USA.
2 poor starts in a row by the Italians.
Pushing too hard there on port, just not keeping clear of their starboard tack opponents, but the American Magic team in command.
This is the umpires. Italy penalised. Get behind GBR. Penalties clear.
So, big battle here. American Magic, I think, just cleanly across the French team of Orient Express L'Oréal Racing. Board with the French.
French done well to get back into this late at the start. Well positioned now.
Let's go on board Chase Zero, Peter.
I got win 194.
Well, that was a pretty dynamic start. New Zealand got locked out at the leeward end. They wanted to start far on the left, but they got locked out by a boat immediately to windward of them. That forced them to make a port-hand start. It opened up that start for the USA, who said, thanks very much, we'll take all of that, and now they're dominant.
We are strong on everyone. 193.
Hasn't really slowed the Italians down much. Still in second place. French team defending from Athena Pathway. France have that magic third spot currently, and they must stay ahead of New Zealand.
Kiwi's just a little out of phase at the moment, but it's so tight, there's really nothing in this, so a lot of racing to go. Big touchdown there by the French. Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't know if they've got an issue there. Not sure what's happening there with the French team, but an issue on board.
Oh, this is a disaster for the French.
First upwind leg in race 8, a race where Orient Express L'Oréal Racing needed to score, and they've been struck with disaster.
Tom, one in here. Uppy. Yes. Got you in the late line. Uppy. 195. 3, 2, 1, Lord.
American Magic just one manoeuvre, and they'll take the right turn at the top.
So American Magic coming in to lead the fleet at the top gate after leg number 1. You can see the green lines now, who are sitting in the important positions of making the top 3. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
On away here, Finn. Angle at 2.
They will be second to get around that right-hand mark. And head down. And then through go Leading Pathways Great Britain, Emirates Team New Zealand, and Lingy Red Bull Racing.
Okay, that's a good set, boys.
Oh my goodness, we've just had word. Orient Express L'Oreal Racing have retired from the race. Just when we thought they were on the money and showing everybody why they should be here, they have just had a... Oh, that is just so sad.
Just had absolutely no luck. The French team, absolutely brutal for them.
The battle for the third spot is between these two teams. Athena Pathway from Great Britain and Emirates Team New Zealand.
Isn't that funny? Hey, the Defenders junior team, the official challenger of records junior team. Gotta love this. No pressure.
Big battle between these two boats.
Up the course, look. We're actually lifting at the moment, but the Americans are actually getting going to stop back pressure behind us. Going to just check us up a little and on. The Americans are in good pressure in front set. Yeah, they're in a good left there. Small gains to the Brits here.
So whoever wins out of these two boats will make it through to the final three. So
I agree.
no pressure on either boat.
A little softer, going to reload.
There is nothing in it. It is so close between the British team and the Defenders.
Boat speed's really even on two boats.
5 seconds. Okay, heavy. Move. Up, one down. Two back waves. British go now. Order.
So much pressure on execution in every manoeuvre.
Stall on the jib there for the British, but they'll get it under control again.
So as we head towards the bottom gate to complete the second leg. Italy green, USA green, Great Britain green.
Are you down now? Yep, coming down. Got the Kiwis just on the transom. Yeah, copy. Just have a nice rounding down there. Yeah. It's setting you up.
American Magic.
2, 1 more.
Halfway through the course. Halfway closer to being in tomorrow's final series here in Barcelona. Leading Pathways Great Britain will be followed by Emirates Team New Zealand. Emirates Team New Zealand have to finish ahead of them if they want to play tomorrow.
Big skid there by the Kiwis. Just under control there. Massive, massive leeway slide.
Nice shift for the moment. We're clear on Italians.
Big loss of distance there against their opponents, the British.
Nice, mate.
The rest of the fleet around that bottom mark. Swiss had a bit of a problem at that right-hand gate, but we are now focusing potentially on this battle between New Zealand and Great Britain, and only 2 legs to do it. Peter Lester, what do you make of this one, particularly between Great Britain and New Zealand?
Well, it's you know, it's a match race. Here we go. It's what we're all about here at the America's Cup, and it's going to come down to, you know, can the British defend against the New Zealanders, who can pull off that top mark rounding and be more accurate. Look, this will come down to only a boat length in it between the Kiwis and Great Britain.
American Magic team just sailing the boat so beautifully, locked in, and they'll be hoping for a solid finish in this race. They're absolutely ripping up there, 31 knots at boat speed, upwind.
They've got great pace, haven't they? And cool heads. Seem to have grown in confidence with every race.
Severin Graham there, controlling the aero package, moving the sails to keep that AC40 locked in. Finn Rowe is Oppo taking over control now.
Big moment this, yeah, cross between the Kiwis and the British. Like Brit just ahead.
Hey, look at it, guys. Some strong gusts here. 20 seconds.
Some big puffs and lulls on the course still coming down here at the moment, so anywhere between 12 and 19 knots. Quite shifty and puffy. On board Athena Pathway. James Grummett and Matt Beck. Matt Beck taking over. Alex Hughes on trim. Really focus hard on their trim for max speed, so...
Look like they're making slight gains on the left-hand side of the track. More pressure over there. They've clawed a few metres away from the Kiwi team.
Just come 6 left there.
Many supporters of Great Britain and New Zealand are wringing their hands right now.
Brits made again to the left.
But this is the second to last leg in the race 8.
Actually struggling to even play.
And one of those boats, Emirates Team New Zealand or Athena Pathways Great Britain, will not be advancing. But who will it be?
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli already doing enough to make it through to this top cut. So even though they are in 4th position, well behind
Brits are going right turn at the top.
the Kiwis and the British, they have already made it through, done enough to the final, as have American Magic. So all about this final 3rd place cut position.
Luna Rossa, though, getting in the mix of points.
Oh, yeah.
Not helpful for the Kiwis.
Spoiler alert, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. American Magic once again take the fleet to the top gate for the last time. They head down to hopefully confirm themselves in the final series. Athena Pathways Great Britain.
Potentially a close cross coming up here at the top gate with Emirates Team New Zealand and the Italian team. So the Italians there actually taking 3rd position off the Kiwi team. Nothing in it.
Comes the Red Bull Racing. They will just keep on going there. Regatta is over. But we are still sitting on the edge. But at this point in time, Athena Pathways Great Britain are looking solid on the last leg down to potentially go into that final series tomorrow and finish in the top 3. American Magic doing what they need to do.
Well, Great Britain are taking the benefit from good advice from their coach and restart. He talked to them about, you know, liking the left hand at the top of the course, and that's what Athena Pathway did on their top mark approach on that second windward beat. And it looks like it might be enough to get them through to the semi-finals. A big tick for their coach, Chris Draper.
A couple of big touchdowns by the American team on the way downwind here.
No need to get super close to the boundary.
One wobble and your day is going to be over here. So right on the edge, all boats on this final downwind. Full concentration needed.
14. You can make one in any one. Which side looks better at the bottom, bad waves here?
Great pace from Athena Pathway. Going to be neck and neck with the Americans.
Good spot for the manoeuvre, mate. Yeah, copy. Best spot from here. We can make the ley line, eh? It's 20 seconds to the boundary. Yeah, happy to go here, mate. Yep, copy. 2, 1,
We have a new leader. Look at that. We have a new leader. Athena Pathways Great Britain.
squash a little bit of speed off here as they exit this jibe, which will allow the American team to then get back into the picture again, but nothing in this race coming down to the finish here.
Most importantly for Athena Pathways Great Britain, when they needed to do the job, they have done it. But this team has started pretty much a flawless race. Pretty much. American Magic, one final jibe.
Pressure right behind you. Stop shooting.
I'll just post it from here. Oh, just.
And they get across. First, American Magic. Second, Athena Pathways Great Britain. It's a green light to go forward in this regatta. And already we know that the Italians are through as well. They have proved the spoiler, and they will finish in third position.
A big touchdown from Emirates Team New Zealand, putting them out of the mix, unfortunately. That final jibe.
That race completed a big day of racing yesterday, and that team there, Athena Pathways Great Britain, did what they were required to do to make it into today's semi-finals. 4 races set to go in front of you. We're heading towards a 2:30 start. We're not too far away from getting a call from race manager to confirm that we are going racing, but gee, it does look good.
This is the race committee. Wind sampling is complete, and this race is live.
So with 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go, you can see Sail Team Barcelona not up on their falls right now. Stephen McIver, double Olympic gold medalist Shirley Robertson, 3 times America's Cup champion Glenn Ashby, and America's Cup tactician on the water Peter Lester, bringing you this finals series, semi-finals today, and then the final on Thursday with the start of the Louis Vuitton Cup series with the big kids on the block, the AC75. Ooh, this feels good today.
Doesn't it? And it could not be better. 15 knots of breeze and probably the flattest water that we've seen yet for the AC40s. I mean, I'm predicting some full-on tight action today.
Absolutely ideal conditions. This is what the brochure showed. Always nice when the brochure turns into reality.
I'd love to see the heart rates on board right now.
So all teams just setting up for their run into their setup to get off the start. 1 minute 40 to go. Really important to keep the boat on the foils.
Still no sign of Sail Team Barcelona going. They cannot play their delay card. They have already played their delay card in this series.
Yeah, they definitely have a problem, the Spanish team.
Okay, I think we can go board up anytime soon. Board. Sono prestissimo. Il 45, still early. I got 30 to kill pin 35 boat. Building now. 85, 20 pin.
British possibly looking at doing another circuit or running the dip start to get clear and take that right-hand side of the course. So they've split from the herd. Interesting to see what their philosophy is at the start.
Port start really powerful, avoids all the carnage of the left-hand boundary.
So you have to rely on all the starboard tack starters to start well if you are starting on port, unless you can cross the fleet. Spanish up and going, which is a great sign for them, so they will be late to the party. They'll have their hats on, ready to get into it.
American Magic leading the way back.
In 3, 2, 1, board up. We got 7th to the start. Racing at the same time. Yeah, you're going to be behind. 4 race. 3, right? Working up on there.
The UniCredit Youth America's Cup, and the hunt for the final 2 begins now in the semi-finals.
All right, targeting 30 knots, good luck.
Really nice start there by the American Magic team.
1 minute to boundary. 29.
Luna Rossa also
Leads at 9 here, Harry.
nicely over speed and converting that into nice VMG. So the Italian team, early leaders.
198 here.
USA, Australia and Sweden within 3 meters of the start.
get rid of the sweets before 45 to boundary. If they're out, okay, a little faster motion.
American Magic pushing high, forcing Sweden away.
So the Swedish deciding to get out of there so they can sail the next leg with clear air.
25 to
But
boundary.
the Italians just lock the Americans out here. They've got a slight advantage. They'll be looking at probably hitting the Americans on the exit of this tack to make their life hard.
You ready to press? 2, 1, board down, board down. One up to the test. 2, 1, board up.
Too late there for the Italians to actually fully get in front of the Americans. So the Americans will still sail air forward at the moment. They'll need to hang in there though, otherwise we'll get in the dirty air of the Italian team.
Okay. Your will go to. At the moment.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 200.
This is a big cross. Fleet coming together.
The British team and Lunarossa Prata Pirelli. Lunarossa Prata Pirelli on collision course at the moment. I think they're too close, possibly.
Whoa!
And I think that'll be a penalty to Lunarossa Prata Pirelli, is my guess. Interesting to see what the umpires say of that.
What was the line? How much risk are you
The
willing to
umpires,
take?
penalty Italy, relative Sweden. Penalty Italy, relative Sweden.
Confirmation penalty on that cross to Lunarossa Prata Pirelli. Peter Lester on the water, they're going for it.
That was a close cross. And Lunarossa Prata Pirelli pushed too hard. Certainly on the water, it looked like it was a penalty, and that was backed up by the umpires.
2, 1, board down.
Let's have another look at the Italian cross.
Give it fast.
Oh yeah, that's too close there. That's a port tacker, so they committed and fouled. So the Italians now.
This is the umpires. Italy, a second penalty. Second penalty. Didn't do it in a minute.
You should check it out. We were there.
Lunarossa Prata Pirelli are pushing it, aren't they? Here we go again. Watch out.
Yep, they'll have to be careful. Don't get a third one if they're not careful.
Crikey dicks.
I'll be hipping up on the Spanish here. 2, 1, board down. Take it here.
Italians really pushing it here.
Umpires are checking.
At the top gate, believe it or not, it's Sail Team Barcelona who were late to the start, who lead the fleet to run in the first semi-final. At the opposite mark, it's the Swedish challenge
The
followed
umpires,
by...
Italy, you still have the 2 penalties.
Okay, just confirming, they still have the 2 penalties, Lunarossa Prata Pirelli. And the 3 remaining boats in the fleet go around that right mark as you see it.
Penalty clear.
And turning.
Really, really tight racing. The Australians just getting around in front of the British there.
Nice cross.
Beautiful conditions
Rewind the whole way through. Fire forward here.
here off the coast of Barcelona.
Turning. Forward convoy.
Onto the water, Peter Lester. Boy, they are ripping this one up, they Pete.
Got good pressure over
Yeah,
there.
what's noticeable, you know, the Spain went off the line and dipped. They went off on port. They hit that right-hand side hard all the way ley line. And as we've seen here, local knowledge-wise, and they are the locals, they picked up a beautiful little wind, a little bit more pressure over on the city side, on that right side, to be quite comfortably at the lead at Mark 1 in context of this regatta. So yeah, interesting tactics, and initially it's fallen with Spain.
Swedish challenge, they've got some gas on, haven't they?
A bit more breeze here, 40 knots. Coming up slightly, they're crossing behind in 10.
It's so tight, there's no room for errors.
Flat boat rest, maybe -1. That could be -1 is good.
Boat
A little bit downhill,
barely made the
really
start,
good pressure
surely.
all the way down here.
The Spanish team
Yeah, copy that.
leading the race, so just got around and got the trigger pulled in time and
It's gone 3 degrees right here,
been
200.
right at the front. So
Maybe 1 and in here. Keep it easy, keep
Sweden just one more manoeuvre to the bottom gate, as are the Spanish as well.
A little bit more breeze in 10. Or lay landed it. Yeah.
Good breeze, bottom half of this track.
And no slower. Coming out a little bit softer actually.
Breeze between about 10.5 and 15.5 knots.
Perfecto, gracias Santo. Grip, low exit, board up. Okay, Spain, big gain, crossing in front. Copy that, turn behind. And pressure into that.
Nice shift and pressure there to the Spanish. They'll be hoping to lay in for the right turn.
They can hear the comms on the Swedish boat know exactly what was going on as well. They said they'd made the gain, and they have made the gain. So they led at the top gate. They will lead at the bottom gate. Sail team of Barcelona, followed by the team that won Group B, and that is the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technologies. In comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. There's a fight for 4th and 5th going on right now between Australia and Great Britain, and American Magic are trailing the field after 2 of 4 legs in this opening semi-final race and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
So 2 invited teams leading the charge against the full America's Cup teams. So invited teams mixing it up, doing a great job. Having a lovely time, the Spanish.
Did he actually whoop?
They did. They did.
They are having the best time, aren't they? Loving it.
Martin Wisner and Framis taking over from Conrad Konitzer and Antonio Torrado. Bow on bow with the Swedes coming from the right-hand boundary. Got slight gains to those boats out to the right.
Luna Rossa done well to recover from those early errors. It is full-on street fighting here today.
Yeah, some decent shifts out there, so see the Swedish team, Artemis Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. Putting the elbows out.
Yeah, good left here,
Really, really shifty breeze here, so all the teams that sail these angles well will make gains over their opponents.
Peter, what are you seeing on the course?
Right-hand side of the course seems to be favoured looking up, you know, and that's where the Swedish team made a nice gain. And on the first one it was the Spanish that went right and made the gain. So right now, I think the team on the right are probably looking pretty strong.
Swedes electing not to go all the way to the boundary there, so have taken a wind shift, which it looks like they're 8 or so degrees higher than they were previously, so they'll be taking some gains out there in pressure and angle. Interesting to see what the Spanish team have out this left-hand side of the track, whether they can hook into something, but
Quality sailing, isn't it? We've seen a real jump today. Very few errors from any of the boats.
Looks like a billiard ball table today out there compared to days we've seen previously, so absolutely perfect conditions for the AC40s. Quite a solid gain there to the Swedes.
Swedish team sailing smartly, I mean, sailing their own race, managing to defend, but also stay in phase with what's going on.
So they'll be trying to line themselves up for a right turn here if they can lay that right gate, minimising the manoeuvres. Australians also on lay, but they will have some traffic to deal with as they come in from right of screen.
We are about to complete leg number 3 of 4, and it will be the Swedish Challenge powered by Emirates Technologies that lead the fleet around and head down to potentially pick up the win. And an early win in only a 4-race series will be invaluable. They follow each other around. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Sail Team Barcelona. And then around the other mark, it's Athena Pathways Great Britain, American Magic have passed Andu Team Australia. So the race for home is on, and a bit of a wobble for Andu Team Australia.
Getting a bit loose there. The Aussies, they'll need to get the boat refoiling again, regroup. It'll be hard to dig their way back into this race from there.
Any boundary?
I'll be standby, Joe.
I will. 2, 1, board.
Angle there. Right, so we can attack the bottom right here.
Yep.
Get the left hand.
Little windward heel too far there on Andu Team Australia, just getting caught. That's a big slowdown for the team.
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have pushed themselves into second position. Sail Team Barcelona in position 3. If you want to make big ground in this series, you've literally got to be in the top 3 every time a race is finished.
Yeah, good phase. 195. And more brace on the nose here. 5 ways. And 2, 1 here. Hey, I think only move is 1 maneuver in. And that's yours. Yeah, I definitely agree. Going down. Yeah, nice. Focus on performance.
Good recovery by the Italians. Calm head after all that risk early on.
Into the finish, boys. Okay, andiamo in 20.
They've dug themselves out of quite a bad position there, back to right up the pointy end of the fleet. They'll be happy to get a second place at this point in time. And also Prada Pirelli.
So coming into finish, the opening race in the semi-finals of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, it is one of the formed teams, the team that won by 19 points in their group, and it will be the Swedish Challenge powered by Emirates Technologies that take the first race in the semi-finals. A monster 10 points on the road to the final. They will be followed through by the other team that won Group A, and that is Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. So the form is coming to the top, but look at the finish. Wait for the finish here. Who gets third spot? Will it be? Whoa! It will be Athena Pathways Great Britain, followed by Sail Team Barcelona, American Magic, and finally coming across the finish line will be Andu Team Australia. Make a mistake, it will cost, and it's cost them big.
Wow. There was some fantastic racing there. All teams getting off the start line and really battling away, throwing all the implements in the kitchen at it.
Here's a look at that finish, absolute photo finish between these 3 teams. I mean, centimetres in it between Great Britain and Spain.
Well, we do refer to it as a race course, don't we? So we can throw it in by a nose, and there you go. But that was a solid result for the first race in the semi-finals. Confirmation, race 1 in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-finals. A win by the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis, followed by Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, who got double penalties on that upwind leg and took a while to wash them off, but they've come home in second position. And then Athena Pathways, Great Britain. Great Britain, of course, are the defenders of the Youth America's Cup. So let's go on board the Swedish Challenge with Oscar Enstrom. Congratulations, first win in the book, a big 10 points. But how satisfying beating the other big team here in Luna Rossa?
Yeah, it always feels good beating the big cup teams, and especially Luna Rossa. they've been hot the whole week and even in the training period here this summer, so really fun.
Oscar, I got
and really good racing.
Oscar, sorry, mate. I got the impression you guys were just quite happy to start at trouble, find the winner, just race your own race today.
Yeah, it's good condition and flat water, and I mean in these type of boats it's all about speed. So we tried to keep it quite easy and sail the boat fast, and yeah, turned out quite well the first one now, and just gonna push to do the same thing the couple of ones here.
All right, well, we look forward to race number 2. Well played. Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Marco Gradoni. Marco, nice turnaround after getting those 2 penalties.
Yeah, I think we had a tight cross with Artemis. I'm not sure we didn't cross, but we need to check again. But I'm super proud of the boys because we went back in like a really good team.
Yeah, mate, I can confirm the experts that I'm sitting with said that was tight and it probably was worthy of a penalty. But look, going forward now, you know what you're up against. This really just puts the edge on it now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the breeze is super nice and we just have to stay focused and sail well race.
All right, we'll leave you alone. Get ready for race number 2.
Well, this was the start. I mean, beautifully executed. The Americans, the Swedish and the Australians just within centimetres of that start line. Incredible cross this, wasn't it? All 6 boats coming together at the top of the track. And a little bit too close for Luna Rossa. Getting a penalty for that cross with the Swedish.
And the team from Barcelona that actually tacked away early on that beat put themselves in a beautiful position and managed to sail a beautiful downwind and get through that bottom gate in the lead.
Yeah, and Swedish Challenge held that lead, actually extended. Great win for them, and then followed by the photo finish. It could not be tighter. All right, with this, lots of key moments. This is the first time these 6 boats have raced together, and clearly each of them have the skills to push very hard. From an even split start, they bounced back together and managed to thread through each other, and at the top of the course, it was even closer. The teams coming within a few meters of touching. Everyone has brought their A game to this race, and clearly only the very best will be winning in this field.
Yeah, having a look at the numbers here, just confirming how closely matched this field is. The average VMG of all 6 teams within 0.55 of a knot. There will be very little separating each of them, and it's going to come down to the tiniest mistake or the smallest advantage is going to be good to watch.
Race 2 set to go at 3:02 this afternoon local time. That boat there, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they're setting the benchmark in this series, aren't they? But this squad is cool and calm under pressure and are definitely a contender for the UniCredit Youth America's Cup trophy. Pete, we've got a match race here, haven't we?
Close cross coming up, Shirley.
This is gonna go right to the end. He might be 19 years old, but he is completely unfazed.
Yeah, having the possibility to sail in Jeddah was amazing because we went into the final and we were racing at our best. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good start, and I'm still thinking that if we had a good start, it would have been another end of the story. But I mean, they were fast, we were fast, and we were enjoying it all. AC40 is one design boat, so it's the same for everybody. And what makes us working really hard is that we can't do anything on the boat. We just have to prepare ourselves, our skill, our way to sail the boat, our coordination.
Boats nowadays are, super special. There's not many places where you can sail these boats, and especially to have a chance for the youth and the women to step on board and for the teams to see what skills we can bring. Yeah, I think we're also super lucky because I think it's one of the first cups where the youth team is really kind of involved with the cup team, and I guess this is the highest level. But being here at the base, being able to talk to Jimmy and any of the coaches, Jacopo and those guys, you always take a little bit of knowledge from them.
I've sailed hundreds of days with them in these 3 years, and I also had the opportunity to sail the 75 for a lot. Every day you're on the water, you learn something. And learning from probably some of the best of the world is just really helpful for a young guy like me. But now I am having my theories and my way to do the things. I really thank all the experience they give, and now I want to do my best.
It's definitely not the first America's Cup I followed. I've been kind of following along with my brother Shannon, who's been amongst many teams for about 5-6 America's Cups now. So the talent in Italy is really high. And yeah, I just hope in the future there's going to be more opportunities for all Italian sailors to get this opportunity.
I think all the guys know perfectly how to sail the boat, so I feel comfortable on this. And I think we're really having a lot of fun together, and I hope this is going to be our weapon for the races. Keep having fun and enjoying the process.
I think we're in a good position to do well. We have the resources, we have the team, the coaches. So I think it's all about putting it together on race day and executing.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, they've taken a bit of a punch on the nose because they're one of the cup teams, and the invited team, Sweden, has come out and said, actually, you know what? Just because you're a cup team doesn't mean you're going to go out there and win every race. Swedish were impressive in that race, weren't they?
Yeah, really impressive and very cool heads, great racecraft, didn't take any risks, didn't put themselves sort of under any real pressure, and also they've got pace. They managed to just extend more and more as the race progresses.
It's interesting just to hear that. So yeah, we're out here just doing our thing. We're not worried about anybody else, and it's such a professional attitude, Glenn.
It is, and I think the teams really all need to just keep their noses clean and just keep sailing cleanly. And I think the ones that get tangled up and get dictated to by the other teams, they'll be the ones that struggle to get the points, I think.
So we are moving in on the second race in this UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-finals. So we've had one race, 3 more to come, and then we'll be down to 2 for Thursday's single match race final. And as they showed in race 1, Sweden are a team to beat in this final series. They've consistently performed under pressure. They won half their qualifying races, finished top of the ladder in Group B by 19 points. Expectations are high for this talented team.
Being here in Barcelona, having Artemis Technologies behind us, it's huge. I was a small kid a few years ago seeing the big cups when Artemis was in it, and now I'm sitting here being a part of it.
We've had a long year since we started about a year and a half ago, working together and training in the moth and wasps and a lot in the simulator. And now it's pretty cool how it's just been narrowing down throughout the time in the team and just the intensity of the whole group.
I think Artemis Technologies behind us, it means everything. Like their experience from cups before, but also like the people in the company and their knowledge.
In Belfast, I have the simulator, which it's a big platform, which is like raised above the ground, and it kind of moves around. You kind of feel all the forces, and it's very responsive to everything that you're doing on the boat.
I think Artemis does it very well. They did the 2 cups. We started foiling and taking all those years of development to actually do something bigger than just for the sport. It's something we're really proud of, and connect like sport and sailing and development in that area to actually do something good for the planet as well. It's huge.
So I'm the port trimmer on the boat, and in front of me I have Ludwig Lindqvist, who has a really long background in the laser class. He has an incredible talent, I think, from the racing side, which he can really bring to the team. Just racing in such a big fleet for Ludde, I think that really helps in this style of racing as well.
And then behind Ludde, on the port side, trimming on port, is Hugo Christensen, who's been, also started in dinghy and done a few Olympic campaigns, and lately been sailing a lot of moth.
And then on the other side we have Rasmus and Oscar Engström, who have sailed together for a lot of years in the M32, which I think helps since they know each other a lot. And I think we're all four quite different, which complements us quite well. I'm a bit more maybe stable in my mood, and the others maybe get a bit more intense when stuff is going on, which I think quite helps in the racing. So it's a good team. The America's Cup is something I've been following for probably 12 years since I started sailing, and something I've always wanted to become part of. And
being where pretty much every sailor is at the moment in Barcelona, and competing against the best in our age, you couldn't dream about anything else.
The Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Clinical Thinking, Clinical Sailing, and now, like Italy, over the whole of this competition, have 5 race wins apiece. So they are the form teams. They finished 1 and 2 as we close in on the second race, and they're up and flying. 2 minutes past 3 local time. We are expected to go racing.
Yeah, the Swedish are impressive. Yeah, a great backroom behind them, and they've been relishing these conditions. Actually, the breeze has increased a bit. We're consistently seeing 14, 15 knots, which they'll be loving, still with that flat water and puffs of more. Remember, we have the wind sight IQ showing us where there is more pressure and less. Green is good, and blue is less wind. Course is 4 legs, 2 laps, and this is the ghost boat. I mean, it's looking, it looks like it likes to come off the right-hand end of the line and is just bouncing off the boundaries, liking the approach from the right-hand side of the track to the top line.
Let's jump onto the water with Peter Lester on Chase Zero. Peter, what are your thoughts ahead of this race?
From that previous race, I was really impressed with the Italians, how 2 penalties, and yet they still managed to salvage a second. They were moving through the fleet, as were Great Britain. And if that trend continues, that will bode very, very well for the Italians and Great Britain. And the Swedes were just rock solid, and they didn't put a foot wrong.
They cannot afford to get tangled up in trouble. They have to keep it clean, and we nearly saw the Italian team really come a cropper there.
I said to you, it looked like they were locked in a locked wheel, because they just kept going straight, and they were almost saying, they're almost tempting the race committee to penalise them.
It's all about keeping clean. I think we could see some mix up in the results here if teams get tangled up.
We're down 2, 1, board, and turn it.
Beautiful conditions out here.
Wind 203.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete, and this race is live.
Barcelona has turned it on to this semi-final day. 4 races, 1 down, 3 to go. 4 of these teams are heading home tonight after this. Who will it be? It's going to be another captivating race here on Barcelona. Crowds are on the beach and the race villages having a good look from their positions, and we're at 2.5 minutes from race number 2, getting a green light.
Swedish Challenge keeping it safe. 2 boards in.
2 minutes, so board down here in.
Slowing it down, limiting the risk.
Your eyes at the moment. 220. Don't want to have too high, low angle in on the last starboard. Just 2, 1, board down. Board down. Too low. Oh, I see. But I can be further down the box. Yeah, cool with that. At the moment, slightly pin favored. And 205 again. So no need to kill for the boat then, but want to be slightly up so we can tack if we want.
Entering box, 2 minutes.
I think we can be... Okay, trim up here. 150 to gun here.
Gonna keep it 32, this is great.
And a small left base at this moment.
Great comms from the Swedish challenge. They got a plan.
Keep it fast out here, Finn.
One of the nice things with the AC40 and the AC75 design is you can sail with that windward foil down.
2, 1, port.
Really accurately control the acceleration and the slowdown of the boat. So,
105 boat.
Nice little feature, the old training wheels.
Start line is currently got a little bit of favour towards the left-hand end.
Sí, por arriba. Perfecto. Por ahí.
40.
Vale, van bastante sueltos, Jaime. No van pronto en principio, ¿eh? Entiendo que esa sota, ¿no? En principio no.
Teams now just putting themselves in their final position with a minute to go. So the Italians here looking for possibly a port start here. I think they'll be coming across and possibly looking to either start and cross the fleet on port. If you can get away with that, it's a great manoeuvre, but you are the give way boat, so you have to give way to all the starboard tackers coming across.
So, 12, 1, port down, and tacking. Coming down a bit.
Keep in the box.
Swedish love that start. They tack at 40 seconds. Timed run in.
Okay, good course here.
So, high risk, but high reward for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. They'll either have to cross the fleet or duck the fleet. They're setting up for the duck.
British boat is early.
Counting down to a start in race number 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Is everybody going to be on time? 2 penalties. Sweden and South Team Barcelona.
OCS get behind penalties, Spain, Australia and Sweden.
Try 3. Wow, what a start. Who gets out of it okay? You might just say Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Just a little bit eager there on the trigger pull, those 3 teams, so they will pay a distance penalty. Get behind penalty, and they'll need to take it within a minute, otherwise Richard Slater will slap them with a second one. They've got to be concentrating on their instruments.
2, 1, hold slightly longer. Clear. Coming up.
Sweden penalty high risk.
Spain penalty clear.
Guess who's leading?
Australia penalty clear.
Luna Rossa had to wait because the British team were really late into the start, so had to wait to go behind them, but really have put their foot right down into that right-hand corner.
They have, and potentially, you know, although they start behind, they are actually attack ahead, so they can get across and take an advantage. So we'll have a look here. Although the Rossa Prada Pirelli behind and the British coming and ducking.
This is the umpires. OCS get behind penalties,
with
Spain,
penalties.
Australia and Sweden.
Basically have to get behind, so you can see how close the line. Australia, they're pretty punched on that one. Sweden as well, and just fractionally over it, over 33 knots of boat speed. So not much in it, but
no grey area on an electronic racetrack.
The tennis ball's either in or out.
It's on that, boys.
And that was out in that case.
It's gone to the water with Peter Lester. never ceases to amaze me, this racing.
Well, a lot played out there, and you know, the Italians were playing the long game. They wanted to obviously go to the right-hand side, so elected to dip everyone. And then the chess game played out for them because 2 boats were penalised, and now they've got what, about a 4-boat length advantage. Yeah, that was very strategic. The Swedish love that starting far right and coming in with pace, but they just got their judgment slightly wrong.
Sweden have a penalty relative to Spain.
Slowly coming up.
So the Italian team having to dip behind in that intersection. They now have the rights on starboard tack. If you're on the right, you're in the right, and the boats will be converging back on this top gate.
About
30 seconds time.
Sì, secondo me hanno la zona al momento. Forse no, non lo vuoi per me, Marco. Buongiorno.
American Magic.
Sweden, you still have 100 metres to go on your penalty.
Non hanno la zona.
So big loss there for the Swedish team.
All good here, actually. That one's okay.
Little gains to the left-hand side of the course, potentially, Shirley.
Big cross here, right of way with
Sweden
Italy.
penalty clear.
Australians actually not far out of the picture here as well, sailing a nice beat, so very close top mark.
American Magic, they get around the mark at the top gate first, closely followed now by UniCredit, Prada Pirelli, and Team Australia, sitting in position 3, followed by Athena Pathways, Great Britain. The Spanish won't be too far away. Cue the Spanish, and there they come. And the team that won the first race has had a hellish upward leg, and that's the Swedish challenge powered by Artemis. But they get around the mark and head down on leg number 2 of 4.
2, 1, angle here, guys.
We mentioned before about keeping it clean and copping a penalty really can put you on the back foot, and a big job now for the Swedish to dig their way back into the points in this race.
The Swedish need to take a deep breath and reset from here. Every point, as we've seen, will be critical at the end.
Don't need a wheel. We're up in 2, right? Okay.
The Australians actually hanging on pretty nicely to this lead bunch. Americans just in front of UniCredit and Prada Pirelli.
Just one, and then the Prada goes behind us.
American Magic will want a result out of this race, considering they finished 5th in the last race. That's only 2 points. And with only 4 races, you just have to be at the front of the fleet.
Yeah, they need to be making their move, and they are looking very impressive. Harry Melges and his team.
7 gram on trim.
Left turn will be good.
These guys really
You'll take again here, Seb.
on the burst at the moment.
Bottom edge there. Probably no lower.
Copy.
Right, stand by.
Copy. Just make sure you're there.
We're down in 3, 2, 1.
Mark. And turning.
2, 1, forward.
Nicely
Slow
done.
forward. Just gonna be fast here, Finn.
Gunner slow as well. Nice, guys.
Prada's made a gain.
Copy. You can say duck if you need.
A close intersection with the Italians and the Americans, also the Australians and the British.
All the rights with Italy.
3, 2, 1, forward.
Okay, vai. Prada splits.
Copy. 2, 1, forward up here. 3.
Split rounding, but it will be UniCredit, Prada Pirelli, almost identical roundings. And it's Team USA, American Magic, who still have the lead. There goes Team Australia in position 3. Athena Pathways, Great Britain in position 4. Here come the Sail Team Barcelona crew. 4th position in the last race, but they need more. And in come the Swedish challenge. Winners of the last race. How things can change race by race with these 8th C40s in magnificent sailing conditions.
29, 28 is your target. Hey, what's the shift here?
They're not used to this at all.
5.
We talked about keeping it clean, staying out of trouble, and from the get-go they were racking up the penalties. Now they need to find another gear. Let's get up the fleet. It's hard though, isn't it? It's a small racetrack, very narrow, and the boats are good.
Nice angle there.
Yeah, next cross, this is a vital cross coming up with Italy and USA. And it looks like Italy have they just got a piece coming across on starboard. And the USA needs to keep clear. They tack lee bow tack. They'll find it hard to hang in there, but that cross is vital. And Italy tack away back to the boundary.
We're crossing the 3 boats to leeward. They're on port in 10.
This is good action.
You can hit.
We hit up. Okay, really good pressure, boys.
Just when you look at that scoreboard, the lowest Sweden they've ever been, if my records are correct, is 4th position. And at the finish line, there's still a way to go. This is the 3rd leg of 4 right now. It's a bit of a fight between Luna Rossa and American Magic.
Car 9.
We're going to attack in 5 seconds. Well, this was the tight cross we just saw.
Another close intersection, this time Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the right-of-way boat, so the Americans there will probably have to dip behind.
Perfetto. Right there. Noi siamo one and in e probabilmente faremo DAC su di loro di Polina.
Still 204.
Nothing in this race between these two heavyweight teams.
We got a full-on match race in the front of this fleet.
Affoni 2, bella striscia qua davanti.
Io ora però aspetta, virerei. Sistema te.
Va bene, come vuoi, davanti c'è.
Go in 3, 2, 1, board down.
Anche un sinistro. 2, 1, board down.
Ok, loro non sono in linea.
Another intersection now, the American team with right of way. Decision on the Italian team now of what to do. Whether to dip, cross. They decide to dip. Smart move.
They've learned their lesson.
Keep the race alive. There's a time and a place for a close cross, and that wasn't it then.
Nice on the can car. Feels good. My voice. We go in 3, 2, 1, board down.
Great speeds, over 30 knots out wind with this tiny little boat.
We're seeing those top 2 boats really fighting it out, doing potentially more manoeuvres than some of the other boats around them.
E loro stanno andando un po' sopra lei, andranno sicuramente per la bozzata di
British and the
sinistra.
Australian team not far behind, but American Magic possibly with a slight gain, potentially across Luna Rossa here for the right turn.
It's going to be another close cross at the head of the fleet in race 2.
5, 3, 2.
All good, American Magic. Leg 3, 1 to go to the finish. They lead Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. In comes Athena Pathways, Great Britain. And there's a little bit of a tussle for that 4th position right now between Andu Team Australia and Sal Team Barcelona. The final boat that will complete leg number 3 will be the Swedish Challenge.
This is the umpires, penalty Australia relative Spain.
So Andu Team Australia there, not keeping clear, but they've had a big touchdown and washed off a lot of speed, so they need to get wound up, otherwise they will be battling it out for last position. I think they have washed off a lot of speed there, so big slowdown unfortunately for the Australian team. Swedish will blow past. But the battle for the front is all about American Magic and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the Americans with right away. And a small lead at this stage.
Target's 40 here down. 41 doesn't on.
Get a good idea of the pace there. Look at that shot. Over 40 knots on the American boat.
It's holding it on the rev limiter. Top gear on an AC40.
Talk to me, man.
Breeze is 200, 201.
I've got the Brit scanning to leeward behind.
Copy that. Bit lighter here.
British definitely the biggest gainers over the last 2 minutes of the race. Really getting a nice line up with pressure and angle.
Happy with the boat. More pressure in 5.
And I saw you line here.
All right.
Trimming you down this next
Make sure we get
So
there.
only one more manoeuvre needed for the American
3,
team.
2, 1.
The Italians possibly laying in from where they are. And they've had a bad dive. The Americans
2, 1, 4.
will open the door.
Oh no!
So, got to keep it together here.
I got your trim. All good. Just lock in.
Good recovery from the American team.
Might be a nympho down here, Harry.
Have they stayed out of trouble? Oh, it's close to the finish again in race 2 of the semi-finals of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Hold your breath, fans, American Magic. You get the win. And in comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They go second for the second time, and then in comes Athena Pathways Great Britain, third for the second time. But 10 points for a much relieved American Magic. And just to add another 4th for the second time for Sail Team Barcelona, and the Swedes will pick up a point, should I say a position, after the mistake at the top gate and the penalty from Andu Team Australia.
Coming up here. Yep. They're just going to reach and 80 to our chase.
Sorry, I don't know what happened on that last jibe.
And they got away with that one, didn't they? But they're happy about that one. Just a little fist bump and away they go, because they know that after that 5th place finish, now they're well back in this American Magic. You have to remember, in the series of 8 races, they had all sorts of bother. They came into the racing yesterday having missed out 2 races. So essentially coming to this, they'd only raced 6 races. But when it matters, good teams get themselves out of trouble. And that's what the New York Yacht Club's American Magic have done. Woo! They get the 3-second win ahead of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, Athena Pathways Great Britain, Sail Team Barcelona. And the first race winners, that's their worst result in the whole regatta, 5th. That's the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis, and then followed by Andu Team Australia. So where are we standing? Okay. Remember, the cut line now is 2, not 3 like it was before. So at the moment, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic are the 2 going through. But look where Artemis is, and then Athena Pathways, Sail Team Barcelona and Andu Team Australia. Let's be blunt right now. They have got to do something. They are in trouble. So 2 down, 2 to go, pressure's on. Everybody's breathing a sigh of relief if you're an American Magic supporter, because they got home just after almost botching that last jibe. So let's go on the board and find out. Harry Melgers, I would suggest there is a rather large sigh of relief after that jibe and getting across for the 10 points.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a tricky last jibe into the finish there, but it was a great race, and the conditions are so awesome out here today. It's a dream come true, really.
What changed in the talk between races 1 and race 2, going from 5th to 1st? What was said after race 1?
Yeah, I think our execution was good in race 1. We just didn't have the correct train of thought for the game plan, so we switched our game plan a little bit and executed well in that race. And yeah, gotta keep chipping.
Harry, for the viewers at home and watching, mate, can you just run us through what actually went on with that last jibe? It sort of looks like everyone was smooth, and then all of a sudden the boat jumped out of the water. What was the cause of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. There was an autopilot change not too long ago, and we're still trying to figure that out. The boat reacts a bit differently than we're used to. But yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it.
All right, well, you've got 2 more to go. As pressure's on, good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, got the double thumbs up. Got the double thumbs up. We like that. Double thumbs. All right, let's go on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Marco Gradoni joins us once again. Second time you've finished second. What was the story behind the port start? Did you decide to go high risk?
I think the bottom right is pretty good, and we decided to get it immediately. But I'm really amazed for how the Americans sail, and it's going to be funny the next 2.
Marco, congratulations. It was like a match race between you and American Magic. You know, how much fun was that? Such tight racing.
Yeah, it was super tight. It's really fun.
We'll have a good one on the next one, Marco. There's lots of good racing to have, and I think you're the envy of pretty much all sailors at the moment out there. Flat water and 15 knots and sunshine, so enjoy.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, guys.
All right, it seems a while ago. This was the start. Port start by Luna Rossa. They had to wait, they had to be patient to get behind the British, but it paid off.
Spain, Australia and Sweden.
3 boats, OCS having to drop back, just too risky. And by gate 1, we set it up. The Americans go around 1 gate, Italy the other, and that was the start of an epic battle, and it was still on at gate 2, millimeters in it. No one got away, constant crosses. We're used to watching this in the AC-75s, but it is great to see it here. Just in time, American Magic take the win. Pushing hard behind them, Luna Rossa. Well, this is one of the key moments. The first cross after the start was so incredibly tight. Multiple boats coming together, possibly with room for 2, but clearly not room for everyone. And Sweden was wedged between the right-of-way Spain in front of Australia above. And at 30 knots, it is not easy to judge. And while it was impressive they avoided the other teams, they could not avoid a penalty. And just one of a number of cross crosses showing us just how tight and how epic this race really is.
Just having a little bit of a look at some of this data here. Not the fastest, not the most efficient, but American Magic were clearly in the right place at the right time. They sailed a slightly shorter route around the racetrack, and it really came down to that last jibe. Sometimes having the best numbers just isn't key. Today it was all about that one last turn, and a great performance there from the Americans.
After that race win, American Magic are right in the mix to make the top 2. They finished second in Group A and have been a consistent and solid performer throughout this whole series.
The Youth America's Cup is extremely important to us. We see this as, a massive stepping stone in our careers.
It's kind of been a dream of mine to be a part of the America's Cup. Since I was a little kid and watching it on TV, and so it's a little bit surreal being here and a part of it.
I think our American Magic youth team, we're very confident, and I think we have quite a bit of experience compared to the other teams, so we certainly think that we can win and that we'll be on the top spot.
I think the Youth America's Cup is going to be extremely competitive. We can tell that the level is extremely high and everyone's pushing their hardest.
Sailing the AC40 in Barcelona can change quite a bit day to day. Some days it's nice and flat out there and it's like sailing on a cloud, but other days it can be pretty wavy and then it's like riding a bucking Bronco.
The closing speeds are, up there between, 50, 60 knots, and you got to be able to make quick decisions and be accurate with them.
You got to be really on top of your hydro settings and your aero settings to make sure the boat is stable and always flying, which is sometimes not so easy. My primary job is to drive the boat, and also both helms on the port and starboard side are in charge of strategy and tactics for the boat. So there's quite a bit going on.
Harry's got a great instinct, racing instinct, and really understands all the aspects of it, and he has a bit more experience kind of on the bigger stage than I do.
I have definitely spent quite a bit of time in the boat so far, which has been super awesome. I'm really fortunate to have this opportunity to sail with American Magic. I do think it probably gives me a little bit of an advantage just with all the time I've had, and we've done a lot of racing, which has been awesome.
Finn Rowe is the trimmer on my side, sitting behind me, and so we sail together on a ton of different boats. Finn and myself have sailed with each other basically our whole lives. We did a 49er campaign together, so we work together really well, and he's also very talented. Severin Graham is the trimmer on the starboard side, and he has a lot of time in the trimming on these boats. He's got a great knowledge of how these boats are sailed at the highest level because he was doing it with the Cup guys who are sailing 75 now. Winning the Youth America's Cup would make me feel on top of the world. It's really something that I've been focusing on personally for the last 3 years and spending most every day working towards it. I think it'd be an incredible thing for the New York Yacht Club and also the team that's going to be racing in the America's Cup.
Harry Melges and American Magic. Now the teams are doing a battery swap right now, and they're going to a smaller jib, which is a J3, and we're timed to go at 3:41 this afternoon. And the fact they're going to the smaller jib means more wind and more wild racing.
It does. The smaller jibs just giving a little more efficiency in these up-range conditions, but these guys doing the opposite, putting the big gear on and enjoying a epic downwind.
Yeah, the Maxis racing here this week. It has been a summer of sail, hasn't it? From classics to Maxis. We got the J's next week. It is all going on in Barcelona.
So just for reference, this boat here would be doing around about 17 knots of boat speed, so with about 10 times the amount of sail area. So.
And 20 people on board.
But you know what?
Absolutely fantastic.
It looks just romantic looking at that. I'm going to say it. I'm going to throw it out there. Anywho, back to the AC40, so we're not too far away from race number 3. Let's talk about America's Cup debuts. That team right there, Sail Team Barcelona, couldn't have made Spain and Prada. They battled it out in the qualifying series, finished second in Group B, proving they do have the tenacity and talent to make the final.
As a Spanish sailor, seeing the Cup coming to Spain and so to beautiful Barcelona, it's an honor. It's really, really exciting, and yeah, we will try to do our best and make everyone proud in Spain. It's looking like the Youth America's Cup is going to be a really competitive competition. All the youth teams are preparing themselves as good as they can. We have been preparing the simulator. That is the most useful tool that we can have. That you can really compare numbers and settings and things with the real boat. So we have put many, many hours in the simulator. We have always become gamers. Yeah, just trying the communication settings and just different things to try to figure out how the actual boat works without breaking everything in the water. Martin Wisner is my helm. We are on the starboard side of the boat. I've sailed with him since I'm a kid. We are really good friends. For sure, he's really, really talented. One of the biggest talents I've seen. He has demonstrated along his short sailing career the results that he has, and yeah, that he's really talented and has a great future ahead. Jaime Fram is the starboard trimmer, so it's going behind me. He's trying to teach me how to steer the boat. He's a really talented guy. We've sailed together since Optimism for 20 together, fighting together. Antonio Torrado is the port trimmer, so I work a lot with him to try to find new settings and the most optimal thing for the boat. He just doesn't want to rest. He keeps working and working and working. Sometimes we have to stop him, but yeah, that's probably his biggest strength, I think. Konrad Konitzer is the port helm, and he's a really good friend of mine. He's a really talented sailor. He knows the rules really well, and he loves just trying to beat the other boat, so perfect combination. I think we are clearly the underdogs. We always
dream too of being in the America's Cup, so this is a step forward of achieving our goal in the future. Really excited to be competing in these amazing boats and also in our country, in Spain, and beautiful Barcelona here.
Sail Team Barcelona, they've had a good old David, but they do need to find some points, because if you take a good look at the points table, and we will show you that in just a moment, because remember there's only 4 races here and we've had 2, and it could change like in the blink of an eye. So right now Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with the 2 seconds sits top of the pile with 14 points. American Magic suddenly go bang, they get the win after being 5th. They're on 12, but it's the same as Artemis. They went 1st, then they went 5th, so they're locked in there, but it's the Americans above the cut line, because if you stop now, it's the last race and you go through. Athena Pathways, Great Britain are in 4th position, but look at that, only 4 points between the top 4. 4 points, that's it, between the top 4.
Yeah, it's tight, isn't it? This is so going to run to the last race. You know, for Australia, they need to get a rumble on. They need to get a result here. It's tough for both the Spanish team and them. The only 2 boats, the only 2 teams that haven't had boats. I mean, a bucket load of time in the simulator, but I guess feeling it a little bit now. But they've shown such potential. Fantastic sailors. They really need to pull one out the bag in this next race.
There is Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. It was interesting that talking to Marco Gordoni, he just wants to get on with this, doesn't he? He doesn't really want to talk to us after race. You get the impression he goes, no, I would just like to concentrate on where we're going.
Yeah, after a big race, normally what you're wanting to do is have a bit of a debrief with your fellow crew and talk to your coach. But it's all part of the game, being able to deal with the pressure of media, cameras, helicopters, spectators, sponsors, and so on.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. If you want to be an AC75 sailor, prove your worth here, handle it all, and teams will take a very, very good look at you. One team that is just doing it consistently right now is Athena Pathways of Great Britain. They're the reigning America's Cup Youth Champions. They had to battle hard to make the top 3 at race yesterday, but backed by some of Britain's most successful Olympians, they're determined to retain the title and do their country proud.
It's a complete honour to be part of this programme, a programme led by 2 of the most amazing Olympians ever, Ben Aisley and Hannah Mills, and to just be part of the team is incredible. It's been quite a long build-up, and we're just so pleased to be here and really excited to hit the water and hit the ground running and hopefully defend our title.
It'll have a new name on it. It is a British win in Bermuda.
Yeah, so Great Britain is currently the defender of the Youth America's Cup, and you know, to be here and have the opportunity to defend that feels all the more special.
So last summer, we've all been on the simulator. We started with the single kind of player simulator, and then we went on to the full cockpit layout 4-person simulator. So we've been doing that ever since kind of the start of this year. Is that the lock there? It's something that's quite new to all of us. We're not really gamers. I think more for the muscle memory and just knowing where all the buttons are and things, and just being a bit more familiar when we get into the yacht.
The AC40 is an incredible class.
To sail is absolutely unbelievable.
So, you know, it's like nothing that we've ever seen before as sailors. Honestly, it's like a go-kart. It just takes off and flies.
Get flying and foiling, it's everything goes quiet, you know, and you lose the spray. It's quite wet initially, but yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling. It's really cool.
Communication is everything on the water. You've got 4 people and you don't see the people on the other side of the yacht, so the ability to calmly talk to them and describe what's happening or assist with sail changes and foil changes is so important.
I think the Youth America's Cup is going to be extremely competitive. A lot of my friends from, you know, all the junior and youth classes are competing as well, so I think that's going to be wicked to be racing against them, and also on the scale, you know, with all the production and the spectators and everything. It's going to be amazing.
we've got a lot of depth of talent in our team, and everybody's had different experiences and different knowledge. So the ability to combine that and the openness to share amongst this team is really something special.
To win the Youth America's Cup for Great Britain would be absolutely amazing. It'd be, oh yeah, insane. It was amazing to see them win in Bermuda. You know, to carry on that legacy would be insane. Just for the younger guys coming through, looking at this as a pathway, I think for them to see us win, they would believe that they could do it as well.
Athena Pathways Great Britain currently sitting in third position, if I'm correct. Yes, just sitting in third position behind, no, excuse me, fourth position, because the Swedes are third, behind the USA and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So it's fourth position for Athena Pathways Great Britain. But if you look at where Luna Rossa is, 4 points ahead, nothing. But if you want to be in the final on Thursday, you better get cracking, and you need a second or a first to really start thinking that you're going to be a chance.
So just having a look on board here, Andrew, Team Australia, Cole Tapper, Jack Ferguson steering the boat, and Tom Needham and Max Paul, the trimmers for Andrew Team Australia. They'll be needing to pull finger in this last couple of races. They really need to get up there. They've been in third position a couple of times at the top mark, sailing really well. Just got to hang on and keep chipping away, and hopefully we'll see some great results from them coming up shortly.
Yeah, here's the Spanish team, sail team Barcelona. I mean, they've been so impressive, haven't they? And you know, they haven't had a boat. They've had lots of time in the simulator, but huge amount of experience in fast sailing, and we've really seen that talent. Driving, it is Martin Vissner and Konrad Konitzer, and trimming Antonio Dorado and Jaime Frames. Hoping to see something special from these guys in this next race. Yeah, Athena Pathway. I mean, they fought hard to make the cut. They've actually sailed very well, really cleanly, and have 2 great scores on the board. And perhaps they just need to push it a little bit harder in this race, because remember, there is only 2 spots going forward. Steering, we have Nick Robbins and James Grammett, and trimming, Matt Beck and Alex Hughes.
And the Swedish there, powered by Artemis Technologies. You know, they've sailed really, really well, and definitely mixing it up with those big teams. Steering the AC40 for the team, Ludwig Lindqvist and Oscar Engstrom. On sail trim there, Rasmus Elnebeck and Hugo Christensen. They'll be looking forward to some solid races, and they really need to push hard to make sure they try and get into this top 2 going into the final.
And they've just played their delayed card. They've just played their delayed card, the Swedish Challenge.
Roger that. The American team, the youth team representing the New York Yacht Club. Driving the boat is Kyle Navin with Harry Melgers. A lot of experience there from dinghies and skiffs. The aero trimmers, Finn Rowe and Severin Graham, really experienced as well. And the time that they've put in together on the water is really showing dividends here. They're sailing the boat well, and I think they're going to be one of the teams to beat here coming into the finals.
Good ice yachters as well, if you're into that. Here is the final team on the lineup, and you can't help but see the influence of the senior team on this lot. They're fully embedded with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Marco Gridoni steering, Ugalini also on port helm. He's a catamaran specialist, just back, an Olympic specialist, and trimming Volconi and also Col Anino. A pretty tight unit. Little errors early on in that first race. Hopefully they can tighten all that up.
They are a team that you just know wants to win. Now, just a little update that the Swedish have pulled their delay cards, so a 15:346 start. There's only 2 teams left for their delay card now. That's the Italians and the Australians. But in the meantime, we're going to take you back to take a look at the first 2 races so far in the semi-finals of this UniCredit Youth America's Cup. So let's have a look at race 1.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a second look. Lots of action, tight racing, going for that port end start. is Spain and Great Britain, but beautiful start from the American team. Full speed off that line.
Some really close crosses here, and this is where the Italian team just pushed it a little bit too tight, trying to get across the Swedes, and umpire Richard Slater saying the computer says no, and popping a penalty for their troubles there.
That gate to Artemis Racing was back in the hunt. Going round at the bottom gate alongside Spain.
And the finish, the Swedish there, just really pinning the ears back on that final downwind, but an absolute photo finish. The second, third and fourth, all finishing within about a second and a half of each other, so fantastic racing.
They are throwing it all on the line today. We're almost halfway through. We are halfway through because this is what race 2 offered up. It was plenty.
Well, just have a look at this start, pushing. I mean, they know they need a good result. 3 boats over the line early. But going behind everyone is the Italians at pace, heading over to the right-hand boundary.
And the Italians coming off that left boundary, and the Americans there really getting around in clear air, both boosting it to the boundaries on either side and sailing the boat fast. As we saw at the bottom, nothing in it again as they head around simultaneously, but with the rest of the fleet not far behind, had to keep sailing well to maintain their lead.
Well, that fight just continued. It was a full-on match race between Italy and the USA, which went all the way to the finish. American Magic took the win, but only just.
3 seconds, that's all it was. 3 seconds for that win. How tight do you want the racing? We'll take that every day of the week with a little over 4 minutes to play ahead of race number 3. Let's just check what the wind is doing. Feels good, Shirley.
Yeah, so this is what we've currently got right now with the wind field. The ghost boats liking starting at the pin end of the start, heading right to the boundary, and then top right at the top of the course. And more wind, that bottom left-hand corner, but obviously right-hand trend right at the top, which is what we've been seeing. It looks good, doesn't it? We've got 15 knots. We're ready to go.
So can American Magic repeat what they did in race number 2? We'll talk to Pete Lester in just a moment because we want to make sure that we are good to go racing. It feels right, but we'll just get our official call from Mel in race management. But this is a team that will want to now really start to show that they have the potential to go all the way. I'm actually waiting to see what the Italians do because they're proving to be a whole lot of fun.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete, and this race is live.
That's all we wanted to hear. Thank you, Mel. Let's on to the water with Peter Lester on Chase Arrow. How does it feel for you, Peter?
Feels excellent. The tricky thing with the wind, the direction is about 203 to 217 degrees, 16 to 18 knots, which is absolutely perfect. Right hand seems to be favoured, but what's really important is that you get in phase with that oscillating breeze that we've got, especially for that final approach at the top mark.
Swedish Challenge, man. What are they about? The first and then a fifth. They will be very unhappy.
Well, these are the 4 boats within 4 points of each other. So crucial, this race. Italy, USA, Sweden, and Great Britain. They need a good result.
This is going to be a huge race for some teams right here. I mean, Sail Team Barcelona and Team Australia, they don't do the job here. They'll be racing for pride and experience in race 4.
Yeah, they're going to have to pull it out of the bag. Those 2 teams, who do Team Australia and Sail Team Barcelona, did really well to make it through to the cut here, and up against some big teams here that have spent a lot of time in these boats, and they've done a brilliant job to be able to be in the mix with a lot of teams that have probably spent 10 to 20 times the amount of hours in these boats and what they have, possibly even more.
50 killboat. Australians are no issue.
It's hard to get past the 10,000 hours, isn't it?
It's very even. Yeah, still happy with boat. Copy. Just rolling up a ton. Yeah, you're almost racing up wind here. Copy.
45 boat.
Sweden off on the right-hand side.
I could be my wheels.
Sail Team Barcelona possibly looking to set up for a port start, but it's like 5 teams setting up for a starboard approach.
Sorry, is it pin or boat then? Midline to pin it. 22 to kill. Big green is 33, so we have a start. 20 to kill. Off of that.
It's jostling of position, basically just to put yourself in a position where you can sail clear, try and get your boat over speed and convert that over speed into good VMG as you hit the line relative to your opponent. So you want to be bow free.
A lot of the fleet over the ley line. Not long to go.
Not killing. 1 charging from here to start.
Spain going for port end start.
See quite a big pile up here at the top end of the line. A couple of boats going to be late here.
Let's go racing, race 3, UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-finals.
And still fast here.
This is the umpire's penalty, Australia relative to Italy.
And also, can we tag?
Australians there, copping one for not keeping clear.
This is the umpire's Australia's second penalty, gaining an advantage from the first.
Oh, they had to push, didn't they? But oh, it was a big risk.
Stay wide here, boys. Need to stay wide, okay, Vic? 90 meters. Still holding. And it's like maybe lefties now at the top too. 8.5. Yep. Targeting 28 here.
Leading teams at the moment, Sweden, Italy and America. Just having a look at this penalty for the Australians here. Australians just not doing enough there, keeping clear, so they really should have known that the Italians were coming in with more pace.
Yeah, there was no room for them at that mark, and they stopped Italy coming up and getting on course.
Australia, you have a third penalty. You have 88 metres to go.
Pressure on the right. Clear cross.
Tough to get back into it from there for Andu, Team Australia, having to wash up that further penalty, but the Italian team attacking on the right-hand boundary will be right away boat against part of this challenge from Sweden. Swedish having to keep clear.
Australia, penalties clear.
Ok, puoi andare così. Hold on, I think. Big fast here. And more pressure in the shoe. They're rolling us. Forti sugli svedesi.
Italians there just with a little bit more pace as the Swedes tack underneath there, Stephen, so they will take the advantage here. The Swedish team having to fight to keep their air clear here.
Like this, cut boat, invited boat, end of the fleet, let's go on board Chase Arrow, Peter.
Yeah, lovely start by Italy. They just came in, they were quite far right, and they just threaded the needle, and then once they got the Australians out penalised for not keeping clear, that just opened it up for the Italians. The Swedes had also started way right, as they have done nearly in every race, and that's the race for first and second.
Secondo me lo svedese va in line, difficile da dire.
Full drag race out to this left-hand boundary, so the Italian team will be lining the Swedish up to try and tack exactly the same time as what they do, or ideally even a click before, to then put them in dirty wind on the way into that top gate. So we'll be trying to put their elbows out here and put them right in the exhaust gas.
Swedish Challenge have done well actually to minimise the damage there. Stay in fresh air as long as they could.
This is the third of 4 races in the semi-final series. Some teams seem to score. Now, I just wonder whether we're seeing right now those that have a boat, had a boat, or have a boat versus the guys that teams that had sims only. We're seeing that now come to play in the real world.
Well,
okay, coming down, boys, and chop. 1 to the mark.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 215.
How good is this? Athena Pathways Great Britain have had a monster upwind leg, but it will be.
Should be attacking here, the British, they do.
Take that left-hand mark, and Athena Pathways Great Britain still have that number 1 in front of their flag. So suddenly that's changed. And it's now American Magic. Into Rossa Parada Pirelli. It's all go at the top mark for the first leg. Oh, we got a race. We got a drag race.
Yeah, they'll be hooking through the gears downwind here on this downhill, flat to the floor, just hooking every cog as they get going. The Italian team there into top gear now at 40 knots of boat speed, holding it flat to the floorboards as we watch our Team Australia come round. Need to keep the boat flying there to dig their way back into this race.
Yeah, interesting top mark rounding with Athena Pathways from Great Britain getting that, you know, on split at the top mark, but their top mark rounding was a little bit wide, and that opened it up at the other end of the gate for the Italians to regain the lead. So we had a lead change at that first top mark rounding.
Full on. Maybe more out of.
The trimmers working hard here to keep the heel of the yacht really locked in. Really important on these AC40s to accurately manage the heel or the roll of the boat with the sails. It's the job of the trimmers.
Quando vuoi. Aspetta, c'è una buona pressione qui sulla mia destra. Prendiamocela, andiamo a questo punto one and in. Sì, ho una buona pressione qui alla mia destra. Lower, Marco.
Look at this. Okay, right now, with one race to go and this one still finishing, the top 2 teams would be going to the final on Thursday. Luna Rossa Parada Pirelli and the defenders of the America's Youth Cup.
Protest there by the American Magic team, but I think the British there clearly across with no penalty. The umpires all over that one.
A gain for us on the Italians here, I think.
What about? Where's the best pressure?
Software shows up.
219, 218. One, take a little.
Last manoeuvre for the Italian team coming to this bottom gate, but American Magic ripping down will only be a boat length or 2 in this. Italians there, the right-of-way boat, so if they're not clearly across, they may be in trouble here with a penalty. Really close cross there. Oh, and a wobbly jibe there on American Magic.
Oh man, that's not what they needed in this race. About to finish leg 2, leading Luna Rossa Parada Pirelli, followed through by Athena Pathways Great Britain, and after that dump off the foils, it's American Magic. Oh, you cannot afford that at this stage. 4th position, it will be the Swedish challenge. Opposite mark, Sail Team Barcelona, and the last boat at the bottom gate will be Andu Team Australia.
One more down.
Andu Team Australia there, coming around in 6th position, but sailing their boat well. Unfortunately, a penalty at the start, which is so critical in this tight fleet racing. So not far off the back of the field, potentially some gains if they can keep sailing the boat well.
Bottom mark was interesting with that very close cross between Italy and the USA, and Italy just got through, and looking at it from on the water, they were always gaining bearing coming into that bottom mark gate. That's why it was green.
Agree with Pete there, and the battle for 1st and 2nd here between Athena Pathway and Luna Rossa Parada Pirelli. nothing in this, but the Italians, I think, clear across. They do have right of way as well. They may choose to tack in front and take the advantage.
Going 3, 2, 1, put down.
Which they do. Oh, bad tacto by the Italians. I'll wash a bit of paste off there.
Yeah, let's go for that.
That big touchdown of the bow. Huge amount of drag collected hydrodynamically over the front of the boat, so they would have lost probably another 5 or 6 knots of boat speed there, and you can see them dropping back. So advantage back to the Americans on this next exchange, possibly with a left shift. Cleaner pathway though, right in the mix as well. So now Athena potentially getting a little wind through the middle there, so a lot of puffs and shifts, possibly crossing the Americans now.
Athena Pathways, Great Britain are ripping up this leg number 3, just like they did in the opening leg, where they gained plenty.
The Italians will probably protect that right-hand side.
Looks good, top right, more pressure up there.
It's called the 1 and in, so they're happy to go straight. The Italians minimise the manoeuvres. And quite a big call, but they obviously have seen something that they're heading for.
One bad backdrop, Sagrada Familia and the city of Barcelona. How good is that? What a picture. Flying AC-40s in the city of Barcelona. Doesn't get any better.
So Athena Pathway, if they can pick up a little sniff from the right-hand side there, they will have gone from 3rd to the lead. Lunarossa, Pirelli, Shirley just coming back across. But really tight racing there, only a couple of boat lengths in it. Italians clear ahead, probably tack front. Try and lock this race down.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shifting the course axis to 220.
Well, this is tight at the top of the course, but that was a pretty nice job by Lunarossa to get in phase. Although it looks steady out on the water, the wind is moving around as much as 10 degrees, and I think that's how Athena Pathways have really got back into this one by working the shifts at the top 3rd of the course.
Fleet about to complete the 3rd of 4 legs, and leading at this point is Lunarossa, Prada Pirelli. Athena Pathways, Great Britain have had a cracking last 2 legs, but they're being hunted as well by American Magic. Remember those 2 green lines. I mean, those are the 2 teams at this point in the regatta who are going through to the final. But yet we still have 1 race left.
One more cheer, please. Yep.
Swedish Challenge will go through in position 4. Andu Team Australia will come through in position 5, followed by Sail Team Barcelona. The race to the finish is on, and race 3 of 4.
Great pace on Lunarossa, over 40 knots. Absolutely sending it.
Target 40.
If you were having a little swim out there on the race course and you saw one of these things coming straight at you, you'd be heading for the sand pretty quickly.
Actually, boys. No. What do you think? Yeah, we go all the way, boys, all the way.
This so much looks like the Lunarossa we saw in the qualification series.
Okay, guys, keep it simple. No rush. Happy now.
They're sounding more and more like Francesco Bruni, aren't they? No rush, boys. Keep it simple.
Probably watched a few videos over the years of those guys, so it'd be hard not to pick up a few Australianisms along the way, as well as Italianisms.
1, board down. Jiving in, boys. Safety 1. 5, 3, 2, 1, board down.
Not their best jive there from Lunarossa.
Okay.
Well rescued.
Slowly coming down.
keeping it together there. They've got enough of a gap. As we've seen, one wobble. You can be at the back of the fleet.
The Winfield liking where they are. Lovely green patch.
Sailing into more pressure, absolutely, and you can see the boat speed, you can see the dark patch on the water in real life. Really big pressure there, so we'll see some big speeds. Athena Pathway, over 40 knots of boat speed, so all boats being pushed hard. One more manoeuvre required for the Italian team, probably Athena Pathway laying the finish, so Italians needing to execute this next manoeuvre well.
Athena Pathway showing some real class in this race. Good consistent racing.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli get their first win in the semi-finals. 10 points, one hand on a finals berth. In comes Athena Pathways, Great Britain for 7 points, and just behind them, American Magic.
Quite a tight battle with Swedish team and Andu Team Australia. Coming down this finish, you'll see the Australians pop into screen fairly shortly, but I think the Swedes have done just enough to hold off the fast-charging Australian team.
Once we get a close finish for the minors, Sweden 4th, Andu Team Australia 5th. It will be Sail Team Barcelona 6th. Once again, these UniCredit Youth America's Cup AC40s and their crews have delivered, and there is just one race to go to find the top two. Confirmation of the third race in 4 of this UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-finals. And it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with their first win in the semi-finals ahead of Athena Pathways, Great Britain, at the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. That's your top 3. So let's take a look at the standings with one race to go. Hang on. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, 7 points ahead of Athena Pathways, Great Britain, who are locked on 17 with the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. And we can even say the Swedish are not out of it just yet, but it looks like Sail Team Barcelona and Andu Team Australia will be sailing for more practice and just the experience. 3 races down, 1 to go, and it will be a stormer. We can guarantee you that. On board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with Marco Gradoni. Congratulations, Marco. That's the sort of race we saw you doing in the qualification series, just smooth and quick.
Yeah, finally we got the win. I'm super happy. It's gonna be a last tricky race because everybody I think are gonna push 120% themselves, and we need to be ready for that.
Marco, Glenn here, what is your start philosophy for this next race? What are you thinking of doing this next start? We won't tell anyone.
I'm not sure, you're not gonna tell anyone. No, just keep it simple and try to be in front of in the first cross.
Nice, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Marco. Get ready for the big one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Let's go across to Athena Pathways, Great Britain, have a chat to Nick Robbins. Mate, you are so in the hunt, it's not funny. Tied on points with American Magic. You've both got 17. No pressure. How are you thinking about race 4 now?
Oh, we just got to keep doing what we're doing and give it our best shot. Yeah, it's super tight racing out here. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more, really, on the semi-final day.
Nick, it's been a pleasure watching you. Congratulations, it's been great. Great racing, cool heads. What are we going to see in this battle? You're on equal points with the Americans. What are you going to do?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that, I think we'll just try and, keep it clean like we have been and give them a fight.
All right, thanks for mate. Appreciate the time. Well, let's jump across to American Magic with Harry Melges. We've just been talking to Athena Pathways, Great Britain. Harry, you are tied on points on 17, and both going to have a good nudge at that second spot, that final spot. What are you thinking right now after that one?
Yeah, we're just feeling pretty good. We're just gonna debrief a little bit and tighten some things up. Yeah, we're gonna give it our all in this next one.
Oh, nice one, Harry. You're actually sitting there just like how I drive my 1975 Pontiac Trans Am, mate. So is that how you sit there normally driving, or you got both hands on the wheel normally?
Sometimes both. You know, we're
nice, mate.
We're really excited.
Bit of white knuckle fever, mate. We'll get into this one and really enjoy yourself.
Harry,
Shirley's got one for you.
Yeah, Harry, I mean, what are you going to do here? You're going to match race them? Are you going to take it to the British? What's the plan?
I'm not quite sure yet because we haven't really come with our plan. But we're going to try to have a good start and control the race and see how it goes.
We'll take that, Harry. Go figure your plan out. We'll see you in race 4. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Got the single thumb up, he's thinking. Let's take a look at the race, shall we?
Oh, Australia needed a good start. They just didn't quite execute it well enough and ended up with a penalty. Too close to the Italians. Gate 1, it was all on, wasn't it, between Athena Pathway and Luna Rossa, simultaneously going around those marks.
And some really, really close battles as the race continued on there. The Italians just locking the race down. A couple of wobbling manoeuvres, both tacking and jibing, but they did enough just to keep ahead of the chasing pack, heading up to the final top mark. Coming into the finish, Shirley.
Yeah, good defensive sailing, mature sailing. Luna Rossa take the win, and a close second, Athena Pathway from Great Britain. Harry Melges and his team on American Magic in third. Well, we said that Australia needed to win this race to keep their hopes of getting into the final alive, but it wasn't to be. The old sailing rule of thumb that don't start with the fleet leader right next to you, but that was exactly what they did. They had Luna Rossa to leeward, and it was always going to be tough to make that start work. And off the line, their fate was sealed. A penalty for getting too close to the Italians, and another one for gaining a good start, possibly illegally. Finally, another penalty for not giving away that required distance quickly enough. I mean, it was difficult to come back from there, and unfortunately, it means first and seconds are out of reach for the Australian team.
Having a look at some data here, yeah, and just a shade faster than GBR, but that was all Luna Rossa needed in that race. On the average VMG, all the teams were within 0.54 of a knot, so very, very close between these top two teams, showing once again it's going to be about fighting for every advantage you can, and this next race is going to be an absolute cracker.
It is a beaut of a day to watch sailing in the race villages, the fan centre on the beaches of Barcelona. This is the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. We have one race to go in these semi-finals. This is the team that leads right now on 24 points, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. But, you know, when you think of it, they're actually not out of the hunt here. Sort of out of trouble, because 7 points ahead. You've got to remember, if we get a tiebreak as the result of the last race, which is the one you've raced. So it's going to be an interesting time for this team. And as we saw in race 1 team, they don't mind being aggressive.
Yeah, I think they've settled down a bit, a little bit of nerves perhaps in that first race, but they do need a clean race. Just don't get into trouble just keep it smooth and they should be okay.
Athena Pathways Great Britain sitting in second position, but on tied with American Magic. That race yesterday, the last race of where the coach Draper got aboard, said just do this, do this, do this, and they came home second. I wonder if there's been some comms going, okay, remember yesterday? Let's go do that.
Oh, there'll definitely be some good comms coming from all the coach boats and all the support staff there. So both these teams absolutely will be feeling the pressure. The lump in the throat will be starting to come on. And they'll be going, crikeys, we just need to execute well here, get the job done so we can make it through to that match race final.
Here's hoping Harry's the team's got a plan, because they didn't have one when we were speaking to him, so.
I mean, I think they're probably quite surprised that they're match racing already. The match race is meant to be a couple of days away from here, but it is going to be an absolute nip and tuck battle for the second spot.
So that is essentially the big battle that you will look forward to in this next race between the New York Yacht Club's American Magic and Athena Pathways, and that is something we will keep our eye on. I mean, we're not saying that Luna Rossa are going to just run away with it, even though they have that 7-point break, but we just have to remind you where it stands, right? The cut line has it this, look at this. The consistency is the key. So you look at Luna Rossa, they start the day with 2 seconds and a win, go to the top. Athena Pathways, 2/3 and a second. Suddenly they jump in to second position, and that final spot for the moment. Then New York Yacht Club's American Magic, a fifth is going to hurt them, that first and third, and they're locked up with American Magic. So you know, it's going to be one of those. We were excited when we saw Andrew Team Australia, when you think about it, and there is so much to talk about this team. They've been on a bit of a mission. They've been here to restore Australia's prominence in the world, but as we have been reminded all through this regatta, Australia has got so much talent down under.
The Youth America's Cup is definitely the biggest regatta any of us youth sailors have been a part of.
It's a really big thing for our country to bring Australia back to the America's Cup. While we've been out of the Cup since the early 2000s, this is the start of something new for Australia. I think it's going to be really competitive, probably one of the most competitive youth cups we've had before. If you've got the boat handling, I think the racing's going to be very close.
To be the people who could lift that cup and start something for Australia again would just be so special.
Strengths of the Aussie youth team, we've got a fairly diverse team. Everyone comes from different backgrounds. We know we're the underdogs, and so collaborating and coming together has been our biggest strength. I'm a trimmer on board the AC40. We're responsible for the speed and the safe handling of the yacht. I'm sat behind Cole Tapper in the boat. He's our port driver. He's our resident match racer in the team, and he brings the rules knowledge, the close racing, the tactics and the strategy to our team.
Well, the team will tell you that I'm not a fast boat expert, I'm a slow boat sailor, but they've quickly brought me up to speed on that, and that's something I find strength in on the other side of the yacht with Jack Ferguson. He's done a lot of moth sailing and 49er sailing, and he brings the speed, and sometimes it can be scary, but now we've built that trust, and you just got to let him go. You know, he's a pretty aggressive sailor.
We've got Max Paul, starboard trimmer, sitting behind Jack. He's a successful 49er sailor. He's done campaigns with previous Olympic medalists, so he's got a lot of experience racing at the top of the fleet.
Tom Needham is nothing if not meticulous. He is so detail-oriented, and he's really stepped up the level of the team in terms of our accuracy.
6 minutes, we got one more lap. That lap took just under 4 minutes.
Having someone like that on board with just such a great understanding of the boat and the fine details has really lifted our performance, I think. To race in the AC40 is something that we're learning as we go, but we feel that we've still developed a really good understanding of how all the systems work using the Team New Zealand simulator.
And as our team, that's our best training tool. Putting hours in every day, every week has been our best way to move forwards. The AC40, it's a bit of a beast. It's unlike anything I think any of us have ever sailed before. It's a really cool, high-performance, technical boat. But in saying that, the One Design racing aspect means that it's going to be close racing, close finishes. Everyone will be tacking right next to each other. It's going to be awesome action. All of us in this team know how much of a big event this is for each of us individually as well as a team. For me personally, it would be probably the biggest moment of my youth sailing career.
I'm really looking forward to the event, and I hope we can make it something special.
This is sick.
So here we go, Andu Team Australia there. Regatta in the semi-final series has not gone as they would have wished. They've shown plenty of boat speed and provided us with plenty of entertainment, but it looks like it's not going to be here on the waters of Barcelona in 2024. We are 20 seconds away from a clearance to race in race 4, the 4th and final race of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-finals. Only 2 boats go through, 4 boats go home. Cannot wait.
Next move's a job to follow these. Copy.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete, and this race is live.
So here we go. 3 minutes and counting. Let's just quickly duck down onto the water with Peter Lester on chase 0. Peter, have you already locked in Luna Rossa?
Yeah, almost, but you know, 4 into 2 doesn't go, so there's 4 teams in with a shot of getting that second place, and so 2 teams are going to be pretty disappointed. The other thing that comes into play, it's a high point scoring system, so if you win a race, you get a huge bonus, and you also get a bonus for getting second in terms of accumulating points, but I'm sure you guys will be all over the maths.
All over it like a wet rag. All right, here are your top 4.
Well, if you're Italy, as long as you're not disqualified, you're probably in good shape. GBR and USA are on equal points, so that's a who beats who. And if you're Sweden, you need to be ahead of GBR and USA. So it's simple, Stephen. It is simple.
No, didn't glaze over this time. 1 minute and 46 and counting to the start of the 4th and final race. The best young sailors the world has to offer in AC40s doing their thing. 2 will survive and go through to the single match race final on Thursday, which is also the start of the Louis Vuitton Cup final between Ineos Britannia and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Cannot wait.
So excited for this. Brilliant conditions, isn't it? It's all on.
It'll be a pretty surreal feeling for all the teams here. It's the last fleet race they will do here in Barcelona, so make sure they enjoy it.
Rimaniamo vicini agli inglesi. A little bit of gas here. Kill 40 for the Magic is pushing the fleet, so let's see what they do. Okay, pressing. Okay, we can go from big low. Okay, boat is open up here. We can kill higher.
Slightly different starting approaches than what we've seen in previous races, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any boat on boat action coming up here.
Everybody on the right-hand side of that start box. Australia pushing early. Italy hanging back, coming in with pace though.
Yeah, all boats killing time here from the start. Put the pace on the Australians here.
We are racing penalty Italy. Penalty Italy over the start too early, race 4. 2 spots available, 4 boats. Who's it going to be?
Such an even start, that front row. Just 3 meters back from the line.
Coming up slowly. Step by deck, 3, 2, 1, water down.
The Swedish team, powered by Adams Technologies. Solid position. Australians just a nose in front. They will have boundary protection there, so Athena Pathway having to tack away. Early lead there to Andu Team Australia.
Can you believe it? Last race. And an OCS to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
out of phase compared to the fleet, the Italians there. So they'll be wanting to try and sail some decent numbers to dig their way back into this.
Neck and neck, Swedish Challenge and Athena Pathway from Great Britain.
So the Swedes now, if the results stay as they are, will be through into that final.
Let's have another look at that start. Such a tight battle, and then we see Lina Rossa just accelerated slightly too much. Got that OCS.
Lucky not to foul the boat to leeward of them there. Windward boat having to keep clear. And you see them there, definitely punched early. That was their only option, was to actually pull the trigger and get out of there. Otherwise they would have been caught at copping a penalty. But they're not far out the back here. The Australians leading the charge at the moment. Sail Team Barcelona on starboard now, so watch some boats either have to duck or tack.
A bit flatter out this way, it seems. Copy. Take any more, Jim. 25 pounder. He's getting a little light.
Been a great leg for the Australians. Sailing smart.
Buddy. You're a tight lane left from the boundary, so we're close line. Roll up or
The Swede team having a go at a penalty on the Aussies, but absolutely no way they were anywhere near it.
Roll up there. Wind's 208. It's finishing top right. Copy.
So the Swedish, again, if they can hold off the fast-charging British and American team, they will be in this match race final.
Squeezing them off now. Good. Then we're going to attack on right leg. Copy that.
Australia have been let go right over to that boundary. They're not being attacked because really they're out of contention. They're in contention to win this one, but overall they're not. That's why the teams that are battling it out for that second spot, or first and second, are letting the Australians have a free run.
And turning.
American Magic gone all the way to the right-hand side.
Oh, and a bad tack by the Swedes. They're off the foils. They've had a shocker. Absolutely a disastrous situation there for Sweden.
Go down.
Great Britain just sail on by.
The British now.
And do Team Australia get around the gate and lead the fleet? It's American Magic currently in position 2. See the pathway, Great Britain take the opposing mark. USA are down. It's all going on in the final race, but they're back up.
I'm feeling the pressure, Shirley.
Messy roundings from America. The British wasn't all that clean either.
And the Italians take position 4 on the Swedish challenge powered by Artemis. It was sitting there. How costly is that mistake?
Another big touchdown there by
Lock it in here. Everyone is shaky. Let's get
the
it
Swedish
going.
team.
Hang on, rest. Flatter. 37 is target. Shift is right. And
Just watching the tack here on board the Swedish team. Oh, just punching through a big wave there, not in a flat spot of water.
And turning.
You see the boat jump through that wave, not getting the foil hooked up before the turn properly, and paying the penalty.
Up, reset.
All the teams a little bit wobbly. I don't know, maybe the sea state's bigger, or maybe it's just what's at stake.
Definitely more sea state coming now, but the Australians launched at a fantastic battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, and the local team from Barcelona crossing the 2 heavyweights on starboard there.
Just the 2 invited teams, just reminding people that, yeah, we're here, but that moment for the Swedish challenge is a heartbreaker, as was the rounding from American Magic. They have work to do.
Happy to take here.
Big pressure, Shirley, to execute this job well. Oh, they're going to touch down. They're going to touch down. They're going to wash off some pace here. They've got to get it up in the air again. The Italians blow past. That'll open the door for the Americans now.
So
Nothing
close
in
with
this.
the Americans. They're right back in this.
Although nice recovery by Athena Pathway, Great Britain.
210. 3, 2,
As you can see, the two green marks there, the two teams will go through at this point in the race. About to approach the halfway point in the fourth and final race.
Got it, Harry. Copy. Bit of a pass on here, okay?
The Australians look like they're laying in that right turn, so they've been sailing well. But huge battle going on just behind them.
About 15 seconds.
Nervous moments. These manoeuvres are big now, aren't they? Oh, the waves.
And Team Australia. Just reminding them of their talent. They lead the fleet in race 4. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Sail Team of Barcelona. Both heading at the same mark. Sail Team Barcelona still in position 2. The battle here between Athena Pathway and American Magic is the one we have to keep an eye on. Right for the moment, American Magic going to position 2.
212, okay. Don't mind it this way a little bit.
Got you at 62.
There is nothing in it.
Good move.
And the Swedes get around.
214.
They will be ruining what might have been. But we're not done yet.
Nice pressure.
2 legs to go.
Maybe a header.
I just take a little lane out here.
217.
Have some pressure here, huh? A little press.
Yeah, possibly a real close bow-on-bow battle here.
By 3.
Surely on this next exchange, I do have
And turn it.
some gains there, potentially to the British.
Press, please. Something.
Their America's Cup dreams depends
Wind is 217.
on this next
Good pass here. My wheel.
2 legs.
Down.
So the American team there having to duck behind, give way.
Too tight to defend. Just got to sail your own race. Stay in phase.
Wind's 215.
They've also got the rest of the fleet to worry about as well, so they're not just match racing, they've got to deal with traffic. Beautiful tack there on board Athena Pathway, Great Britain. Oh, that's not what they need. The Spanish tacking right on their face there. Have a face full of dirt fairly shortly.
No choice but to get out of there.
It's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. So that will advantage the Americans, who actually had to sit in a little bit of dirty air for a little bit as well from Luna Prada Pirelli. The Australian team and Australia ears pinned back and ripping up wind.
Well, the gloves are really on now. They're fighting hard, and the impact of the boats that are not able to go through to the final are quite marked, with the Spanish there forcing Great Britain to tack away. And it'll just be interesting. The next cross between USA and Great Britain is absolutely crucial as we come up to the top mark for the last time.
Cut the tension with a knife, and the support teams of Athena Pathway, Great Britain and American Magic.
Wind's 220.
So a great battle here. The British actually tacking pretty early, not actually affecting the American team there, but putting themselves in a position of security, leading them back out to that right-hand side of the course.
This is the fight.
Nice riding coming here.
The gaining on the Brits slowly.
Nice.
Wind's 219.
I think there's a nice lane out here. I think we can just, if you think you're strong, let's go to lead.
Copy. Yeah, do you think we're strong?
Okay, nice, Kyle. Just going to lead.
Having to press here slowly?
All good here, guys.
The voice of Harry Melges.
Wind's 218.
Keeping it calm.
Sleigh.
Copy. 4 down and 2, 1. And turning.
gone pretty early there, so not giving himself too much wiggle room.
Jib in, please, jib in.
The Brits go behind us.
Yep, copy.
Swedish are to leeward, setting up for a right turn. We're strong by 10.
Going left.
Copy.
And Team Australia have sailed a beautiful race. It's the last race. It's the last race for them, but it's also the last race in these semi-finals of the UniCredit Youth Americas Cup. The battle is on for second spot. In comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They continue this way. They are a lock for the final. But who will they meet on Thursday in the single match race final? Sail Team Barcelona at position 3. American Magic 4, ahead of Athena Pathway, Great Britain. And then the Swedes, who, if they hadn't botched that move, could have been a different story. Oh! Safely around. Let's just call that one safely around.
It's going to be a big battle on this final downwind. The Americans jibing into pressure.
Good.
British team there now have the Swedish to deal with, her right up their exhaust pipe.
So the next move is going to be jibing underneath their line.
Copy that.
Painting the picture for us, the American team.
Performance, yeah. You get my drops.
Yep. A drop in.
Beautiful jibe on board Athena Pathway. They'll be happy with that. Close cross between Sail Team Barcelona, who are clearly ahead, so the Americans will keep charging and they'll just want to make sure they stay in front of the British here. They're happy to just carry on straight there. With the dirty air of the Spanish, they've just decided to carry on and stay in clean air.
Nice, boys.
Cool decision making.
Wins 213. There's an almost boundary.
It's close. But not, yeah, just before boundary. We're good.
So next manoeuvre, absolutely critical on board American Magic.
We're down 2, 1.
It is theirs to lose currently.
2, turning. 1,
3, 2, 1, 4. Turning. My wheel. 2, 1.
Just like a bought one.
It's a keeper on board the American team. And do Team Australia charging on this downwind over 40 knots of boat speed. They've sailed the boat beautifully, as have Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The Spanish team not far out of it.
What an advertisement for AC40 racing we've had in the last 48 hours. They may be out and do Team Australia, but they have certainly gone in there and delivered a result, and good on them too. And do Team Australia get the win in the final race of the semi-finals. They will be followed through by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They are into the match race final. Green light for them. Sail Team Barcelona finished third. What a series they've had. And guess who goes and meets Luna Rossa? American Magic are through the match race final. What an effort.
Turn here, 2, board round up, board down. And turning up here.
Athena Pathway, Great Britain. They have battled all the way. They were so close. They will finish in 5th, followed through by the Swedes, who, if not for one mistake, it could have been a different story. What a race series we have been treated to. Absolutely a stonker.
They didn't disappoint, did they? The best young sailors on the planet, and the battle right to the very end.
I can't take the smile off my face. This has been so much fun, but so, just engrossing. Can't take my eyes off it.
And hats off to the young Aussie team there. Absolutely great effort from Cole Tapper, Jack Ferguson, Tom Needham and Max Paul. Got the AC40 around the track at full throttle and kept it on the foil, so hats off to them for the race win in the final race
So confirmation of that final race in the semi-finals. Congratulations, Andu Team Australia. They were late to the party. They spent so much time on the sim, and they have shown us that they can sail this AC40 beautifully all through the race series. Now they've had some fun along the way as well. Second, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Third, Sail Team Barcelona. Fourth, and a monster fourth for the New York Club's American Magic, followed by Athena Pathway, Great Britain, and Artemis Swedish Challenge. Who's going to the final? Oh, how close. By a point. One solitary point. And it will be the New York Yacht Club's American Magic against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in Thursday's single match race final to find a champion. On board Andu Team Australia, Cole Tapper. What a way to finish the regatta. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thank you. We're really happy with how we rallied for that last race, and probably showed a bit better what we could have done. And, you know, it's a shame we struggled a little bit in the start and we're on the back foot, and in a fleet that good, it's just really hard to get through.
Oh, Cole, it's Glenn. Just given the opportunity, mate. Well done. To say anything to your supporters and your network there behind you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a team bigger than the four of us on the boat. We've got 3 other sailors who have been here every day on the water, and then the wider team, all the management, anyone who's helped support us and been here every day, or even sent a nice text. So we're so grateful, and we're so lucky to be doing this. Ready for board down? 2, 1.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
He's got a bit on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just wait a couple of seconds.
No, you're good.
Happy as.
Cole, you have impressed us and sailing fans all around the world. It's been tough, hasn't it, coming in as an invited team and having to learn on the job. You know, how good has it been and how tough has it been?
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a tough format for us to crack through that top bit, but we love the challenge of learning these boats, and it's been so awesome to finish this week. And you know, all the people from Group B were up there fighting, and it was awesome close racing. So yeah, we couldn't be happier.
Cole, thanks for the entertainment. Thanks for chatting to us after every race, and well played. That was just fun to watch, mate.
Thank you so much.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Top qualifiers in this series, so they get to choose port or starboard in the final. Marco Grodoni, tell me you're extremely happy right now.
I already lost one final in Jeddah, so I know there is a bad feeling losing a final, so I'm still not happy. I'm proud of what we did today, but we want to get it then.
Marco, massive congratulations. How much match racing practice have you been doing? Are you ready for Thursday?
Yes, we did quite a lot with in this winter, also with Jimmy and Keiko and Ruggero Tita. So we just have to see how the forecast is, and we will try to deliver.
Do you think you'll be getting any advice, Marco, from Francesco and Jimmy over the next couple of days, or are you just happy to take it on your own with the boys?
I think we're gonna train a bit together. We need to ask them, but it will be nice to train a bit together.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Marco. And just one final thought. Talk to Francesco of how to celebrate, okay? Because I want to see you guys bouncing off the ceiling. That's good fun. Well played.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, he's not going to play ball. All righty, let's move on to Harry Melchers on American Magic. Harry, congratulations. You're through. You're through to the big one.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was obviously a very tight race for us, but gosh, the boys sailed so well, and yeah, it just came together for us on the second beat. We're all really happy to be going in this last final match race.
Oh, Harry, massive congratulations to you and your team. I mean, you sounded so cool and calm throughout all of that. How much pressure was there to get that result?
Thanks, Shirley. I mean, the pressure was definitely on, but, you know, at the end of the day, these boats are so fast, and decisions come so quick, you can't really be thinking about anything other than what you're doing in the moment. So, yeah, we had a great time.
All right, thanks, Harry. We'll see you in the final on Thursday.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go on to Athena Pathway, Great Britain. Nick, how are you feeling right now?
Pretty gutted. I mean, yeah, we wanted it really bad, and yeah, pretty gutted.
Did you go in there thinking you might have to take some risks, or is it just one of those days?
You know, we just wanted to sail a nice, clean race, and we made a few mistakes. We kind of, you know, we were just doing everything we could to get enough points to get there, really.
Nick, not the result that you'd hoped for, but you really sailed a clean, mature campaign. Yeah, how tough was that final race?
You know, it's been tricky racing all day with it being so tight in the flat water, and everybody's, you know, really similar level. So it's been really tight racing, and yeah, it's tough, but just feel really thankful to have been a part of it, and to have had, you know, such a great team, great summer, and just a massive thank you to everybody on our whole team. It's been a great campaign, and kind of sorry that we couldn't quite get it to the final today, but yeah, we were certainly giving it everything that we could.
Oh, Nick, it's Glenn here, and just congratulations to you, James, Matt and Alex, for a really well-sailed event. You should be very, very proud of what you've achieved, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys sailing fast in the not-too-distant future. But hats off, mate, and enjoy a cup of tea and a lie-down with a ginger nut biscuit.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
All right, thanks, Nick. Let's go on board the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis and Oscar Enstrom. Oscar, it's one of those days, coulda, woulda, shoulda, huh? That last race, almost there. Almost could have been you.
Yeah, tough finish of the day. But quite happy with how we sailed most of the day. Had a good position last race as well, but struggling one tack, and race was pretty much so, a bit frustrating, but yeah, that's how it is. But happy with how the crew worked today.
Through this whole program, how much have you and the whole crew developed as a sailing team and shore team?
It's been huge, like for us in this age, getting a partnership with Artemis and their experience. I couldn't dream of anything better than that. Like, we're taking with us a lot from this whole campaign, and yeah, a bit frustrating now, but in a few weeks I'm pretty sure we're quite happy with this few months and all we've learned throughout this campaign.
Being here, how much does it make you more want to be an AC-75 sailor?
That's always the big dream. The big cup is the biggest thing we have in the sport, so something you always dream about and always work towards. So yes, definitely something on the goal list.
Congratulations on a fine campaign, Oscar.
Thank you.
Let's move across to Sail Team Barcelona. Martin Visner. You guys seem to find your feet really quickly in sort of the latter part of the regattas. This was a nice way to finish off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been short, but really nice. So we only have good words, and really grateful for everyone. I want to say thanks for all the team we have, all the French guys that really help us to learn to sail the boat, and they really hadn't the regatta they wanted for, but I think they demonstrate how well they sail. So thank you for them, thank you for the team, and I really enjoy it.
Martin, you and your team have sailed so well. You've been great competitors in this. You know, how big an opportunity has it been? I mean, what do you think you've learned from it all?
Oh, we learned too many things, that's for sure, countless. So really grateful. But as how I said, it's really short. We want to do it again for sure. And we sailed it with the best of the best of the business here, and we were really close. Maybe, I don't know from TV, but we felt it was really close, so we wanted to race again.
Mate, the smile says it all. The enjoyment that you and your team have given us, and the enjoyment you guys have had. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, let's look back on their fourth and final.
Well, at the start, Luna Rossa on that right-hand side, too early. They'd nowhere to go, didn't they? They just completely misjudged that and got the penalty. Leg one, the Swedish right in the mix, and just, a really costly splashdown. Took them ages to get going.
Really, really tight battle for second, third and fourth halfway through this race, and anyone's game at that point. But it was the Aussie team, the Vandu Team Australia, punching through for the race win. Big flurry behind them, and American Magic doing enough to finish ahead of Athena Pathway to make it through to the finals of the match race final here in Barcelona.
Oh, the key moment has to be that final run. It was nip and tuck between USA and GBR on that final downwind leg. Athena Pathway split at the top, hoping to find something American Magic had missed. But USA played a perfect final leg, always crossing ahead and holding their nerve. It was a great battle, and now American Magic joined Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in the final. It shows that New York Yacht Club have produced a worthy opponent to the Italians. We have a lot to look forward to.
Just having a little crunch of some of the numbers here. Australia getting their first win today, but not actually being the fastest. The interesting number is how Sweden sailed the shortest distance by 300 metres, but clearly it didn't mean much for them. It was more about where you put the boat. Next is a match racing final, and that's all about positioning. So Luna Rossa will have a fair bit on trying to take on their opponents, American Magic there. Can't wait to see how that battle finishes out.
So we have a final at Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and New York Yacht Club's American Magic. The Luna Rossa, well, they've set the bet march really pretty much from the get-go. And they are now in the final of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup Trophy. We've got a match race here, haven't we?
Close cross coming up, Shirley.
This is going to go right to the end. He might be 19 years old, but he is completely unfazed.
Yeah, having the possibility to sail in Jeddah was amazing because we went into the final and we were racing at our best. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good start. And I'm still thinking that if we had a good start, it would have been another end of the story. But I mean, they were fast, we were fast, and we were enjoying it all. AC40 is one design boat, so it's the same for everybody. And what makes us working really hard is that we can't do anything on the boat. We just have to prepare ourselves, our skill, our way to sail the boat, our coordination.
Boats nowadays are, super special. There's not many places where you can sail these boats, and especially to have a chance for the youth and the women to step on board and for the teams to see what skills we can bring. Yeah, I think we're also super lucky because I think it's one of the first cups where the youth team is really kind of involved with the cup team. And I guess this is the highest level. But being here at the base, being able to talk to Jimmy and any of the coaches, Jacopo and those guys, you always take a little bit of knowledge from them.
I've sailed hundreds of days with them in these 3 years. And I also had the opportunity to sail the 75 for a lot. Every day you're on the water, you learn something. And learning from probably the best, some of the best of the world is just really helpful for a young guy like me. But now I am having my theories and my way to do the things. I really thank all the experience they give, and now I want to do my best.
It's definitely not the first America's Cup I followed. I've been kind of following along with my brother Shannon, who's been amongst many teams for about, what, 5, 6 America's Cups now, so the talent in Italy is really high. And yeah, I just hope in the future there's going to be more opportunities for all Italian sailors to get this opportunity.
I think all the guys know perfectly how to sail the boat, so I feel comfortable on this. And I think we're really having a lot of fun together, and I hope this is going to be our weapon for the races. Keep having fun and enjoying the process.
I think we're in a good position to do well. We have the resources, we have the team, the coaches. So I think it's all about putting it together on race day and executing.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli top qualifiers in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup semi-final, so they get to choose port to start with. But okay, let's cut to the chase. It's a couple of days away. They must go in as the favourite, surely. Oh, come on.
They've certainly had, I guess, probably the most time on the boats, although the American Magic team have also done a lot. They have, sailed in Jeddah, they've sailed in some different conditions, and all those hours add up to being fast.
Well, they haven't been perfect, right? They had 2 poor starts and they had no CS there, but got themselves out of trouble, so,
Exactly. I mean, both teams have made mistakes, but they've looked so good, haven't they? And they've spent a lot of time in the simulators. They've been properly embedded with both AC75 teams, and they're strong.
The cream has risen to the top after this series. We've had lots of fantastic races, and I think what we've seen after some great battles is the fact that cream has risen, and the top 2 teams have made it through, and what a match race final that's going to be.
It will be an absolute ripper on Thursday. So Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli face American Magic on Thursday. They're in the top 2. That's all they needed to be. They finished second in the Group A qualifying series, and they have been a consistent and solid performer throughout the whole series.
The Youth America's Cup is extremely important to us. We see this as, a massive stepping stone in our careers.
It's kind of been a dream of mine to be a part of the America's Cup since I was a little kid and watching it on TV, and so it's a little bit surreal being here and a part of it.
I think our American Magic youth team, we're very confident, and I think we have quite a bit of experience compared to the other teams, so we certainly think that we can win and that we'll be on the top spot.
I think the Youth America's Cup is going to be extremely competitive. We can tell the level is extremely high, and everyone's pushing their hardest.
Sailing the AC40 in Barcelona can change quite a bit day to day. Some days it's nice and flat out there, and it's like sailing on a cloud, but other days it can be pretty wavy, and then it's like riding a fucking Bronco.
The closing speeds are, up there between, 50, 60 knots, and you got to be able to make quick decisions and be accurate with them.
You got to be really on top of your hydro settings and your aero settings to make sure the boat is stable and always flying, which is sometimes not so easy. My primary job is to drive the boat, and also both helms on the port and starboard side are in charge of strategy and tactics for the boat. So there's quite a bit going on.
Harry's got a great instinct, racing instinct, and really understands all the aspects of it, and he has a bit more experience kind of on the bigger stage than I do.
I have definitely spent quite a bit of time in the boat so far, which has been super awesome. I'm really fortunate to have this opportunity to sail with American Magic. I do think it probably gives me a little bit of an advantage just with all the time I've had, and we've done a lot of racing, which has been awesome.
Finn Rowe is the trimmer on my side, sitting behind me, and so we sail together on a ton of different boats.
Finn and myself have sailed with each other basically our whole lives. We did a 49er campaign together, so we work together really well, and he's also very talented.
Severin Graham is the trimmer on the starboard side, and he has a lot of time in the trimming on these boats. He's got a great knowledge of how these boats are sailed at the highest level because he was doing it with the Cup guys who are sailing 75 now.
Winning the Youth America's Cup would make me feel on top of the world. It's really something that I've been focusing on personally for the last 3 years and spending most every day working towards it. I think it'd be an incredible thing for the New York Yacht Club and also the team that's going to be racing in the America's Cup.
So it has been one hell of a day, and this is what we've had 20 races in total. We started with 12 teams, went down to 6, now we are down to 2. And who are those 2? Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic will contest the final of the 2024 UniCredit Youth America's Cup. How good has it been? And we're not done with yet, but what a day. The starts were something, weren't they? Every race we have seen today, the starts have been...
And the crosses, it has been so tight. This is race 1, it feels like weeks ago.
This is a team that came in here with a huge reputation. They ended up with 5 wins, winning the opening race of the day, and then last race, and
it's one little wobble, and as we've seen, can just make or break.
This is the umpires, OCS, get behind penalties, Spain, Australia and Sweden.
You've got to love how Luna Rossa approached this whole day, don't you?
All the teams pushing that start.
Not a lot of time to have a conversation about what you're going to do next. A lot of reactionary trimming and steering, and you try and anticipate as much as you can, but sometimes you've just got to turn the boat and trim the sails.
This was a great match race, wasn't it, between American... Yeah, they got the win between American Magic and Luna Rossa. Little prelude to what we might see on Thursday.
Some of these crosses, as you're sitting on the windward side of the boat, you've got really no idea how far the boat away is unless you've got your leeward side tactician and trimmer actually calling where that is, and super important to paint that picture well, not only on these AC40s but also on the AC75. So huge amount of action happening with these fleet races.
All these sailors razor sharp, an incredible caliber, isn't it, of young sailor. We have, Olympians, Moss and Wasp champions, multi-hull champions, match racing champions, all together on one start line. What a start that was.
Overall, when you think about this whole regatta, how impressed have you been? Particularly from the invited teams who literally came from, oh, that hurt Sweden. How impressed have you been across the regatta to this point?
Massively. You could not have watched this series and not be impressed by them. Most of them just a handful of hours on the boat, lots of time on the sim, and they just got better and better and better.
No, it's fantastic to see this next generation coming through, to have the opportunity to sail a boat like the AC40. Absolutely brilliant, and they've certainly been not scared in pushing it hard. It's been great to watch.
We've had 20 cracking races, and it started, remember, right back in day 1 with that wild sea state and everywhere just going for it. That was the America's Cup teams. We've ended up with 2 America's Cup teams in the final, that being Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic. It is going to be a wild on Thursday when you think what's ahead of us. And what's it all about? This. Who will hold this aloft on Thursday afternoon? Who will win the UniCredit Youth America's Cup in 2024? Will it be Luna Rossa? Will it be American Magic? You better be around to find out. So Barcelona sitting in the sunshine, and this is how Thursday works out for you. Race 1 and 2 in the Louis Vuitton Cup final, the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. And then the match race final, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in USA and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. It has been a magnificent day here on the coast of Barcelona. A Tuesday where the sun has been shining and the wind got up. At the beginning of the day, we're thinking, oh, is there going to be enough wind? You know what? Mother Nature said, I'm feeling in a good mood, and she delivered us, as Shirley quite rightly said, glamour conditions for racing. and the fleet of the AC40s and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup certainly delivered. There will be some heartache and sadness for those teams that are going home, but there are still 2 teams alive, and it's going to be an absolutely ripping Thursday. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, did they think going through at the start of the day that they would be in the final? Australia, did they think they would get a win in the last race? The one thing they have all done over the last 20 races, they have entertained us. They have shown that the best young sailors in the world can certainly handle these boats, the AC40s. They are a thrill machine, and we certainly enjoy bringing you the thrills. We'll see you on Thursday. It will be a ripper.